discuss. I mean, and we're picking games against, Alabama, UL, Monroe. Like, I don't care about those games, right?
Yeah.
So we'll obviously talk about like the big games each week, which there's ranked on ranked matches. So like that's what I consider a big game. So if there's not a lot of them, like there's only one this week, which is Michigan Oklahoma. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about our team's games, and then we can each. What I was thinking is each pick our. Not necessarily like sleeper game, but what game we think could be just a good matchup game wise. So obviously you have to look at the top 25 and see what games are out there to kind of have that input. I already have kind of a few in mind. And, I mean, realistically, like
Belichick banned the New England Patriots scouting.
Saw that too.
What the fuck?
What?
Like he banned Patriot staffers or something like that. Yeah.
Like he told them the day before the game said you're not allowed.
At the game to scout?
Yep. Or a visit in August scheduled, but said they'll have zero access.
So him and New England are just not on good terms.
Do you think? You'd think after 25 years there'd be some, I don't know, maybe it's just animosity or something.
So any other potential that you wanted to talk about, Pete?
No, I'm sure I'll float something in my head out of nowhere.
Okay.
It's like the word of the day, toilet paper. It comes back to you later.
Yeah, I didn't know about this Kawhi Leonard thing until I was watching. I saw like a 10-minute little clip of the Pat McAfee show. And they brought it up. And I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so we'll see. See what comes from that.
I can't believe they didn't even play a play and the fucking defensive end got kicked. Did you guys see that?
What happened? No.
The defensive guy, what's his name? Jalen Carter? He, before the first play of the game, after the kickoff, he walks up to the Dallas huddle, and Dak meets him before he gets to the huddle, and he walks up to him and they exchange some back and forth, and then he spits on him, and the ref was right there. They ejected him. So he didn't even get to play a play.
Who are they playing?
Dallas Eagles.
He's from Georgia.
Yeah. Well, that's what somebody said. They're like, man, these Georgia people are always in trouble.
Jeez, what an idiot.
Yeah, that's a $50,000 or $100,000 fine coming at his ass.
Yeah, for appearing to spit on Dak Prescott. Oh, my gosh. I mean, I don't get it why these guys just like... I was watching something the other day where this scrum happened in soccer at the end of a game, and then, like, one of the players was going after a staffer, and the staffer was trying to just, like, not have anything to do with it, and he spits on him. And it's like...
Yeah.
Where is this coming from?
Yep.
It's like... all the spitting. That's crazy.
Yeah. I
didn't know that.
Yeah.
I actually forgot that the game was tonight, too, until I saw, like, a little short on YouTube of a Dallas Cowboy running for a touchdown. I'm like, why are they showing me this?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, crap, the game's on.
Yeah, it's literally an offense fest right now. Neither defense is playing well.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, 14-14. Jeez. Excuse me, sorry about that.
Good God, man. They just want robots out there. Yeah.
It's crazy how many different avenues or revenue, or whatever you want to say, sources you kind of have if you want to watch all this NFL football.
I know. Tomorrow's on YouTube.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Is that a first? Did they do that last year, too?
No, this is the first year they signed the contract.
Wow.
Well, I was going to say, because it's YouTube now has what used to be on just straight DirecTV. What's it called? Where all the games are, like, played on it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Red
what's
Zone?
that package? No, because Red Zone's just the touchdowns.
Yeah, Red Zone's going to commercials now. Everybody's pissed.
That's what it is. Sunday Ticket.
Oh, okay, yeah, DirecTV Sunday.
So that it used to be only DirecTV, and now it's on YouTube. You can still get it via DirecTV, but it's now on YouTube as well. It's not a DirecTV exclusive where it used to be.
I need CD Lamb to, like, take a couple series off. It's the only person Dak's throwing to.
I'm all right with that.
No, I'm not.
I am.
Well, I'm not. So, potato.
I don't care about you. I care about my team.
Well, that's too bad because I'm winning.
I mean, I was going to say, it's not like he's getting a ton of points. But
It was at first. It's like there was no other player on the damn team.
Oh, you got your kicker going, too.
Yeah, that's why I figured they'd kick a couple field goals here, but all these fucking penalties is just... They had a pass interference call that was a 35-yard penalty. New England did. Or not New England, Eagles. I can't believe Dallas is going to have 4 first-round draft picks in the next 2 drafts.
Yeah, they're going to have a lot.
It's a good drop by CD. Keep it up. It's good for the brand.
I'm kind of torn on the pass interference call. I kind of like that the defense is penalized, but then I kind of don't like that they're penalized like that because say like the quarterback's scrambling and you hold 30 yards down the field.
Yeah.
You don't get the ball where you held.
Yeah.
Oh, he almost had that. I'm a little bit behind you. That was, oh, man.
I'm okay with like a 15. I'm not okay with spot fouls. So it's...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm kind of torn on it. I don't think, like, that's kind of harsh, right? Like,
yeah.
I've hated the spot foul for a long time because it's like a pass interference down the field can create a 45-yard, change of play.
Yes.
Which is ridiculous.
3 yards. Oh, just gonna put those arms together.
Yeah. There's a reason he's a defensive lineman.
I used to root for the Eagles back when Randall Cunningham played.
Oh, yeah?
My grandma's team. Yeah, so that was her team. And then I was like, okay, I'll sit down and watch with your grandma. I was all into college. And then Randall Cunningham was just awesome. I'm like, okay, I can get behind this guy. This guy's really awesome.
Yeah, I like this play style.
Yeah, so I like, if I wasn't rooting for Emmett Dallas, the only reason I like Dallas was Emmett. That's the only, now I don't care.
Yeah, that offensive line, man.
Then it was the Eagles.
That, in my eyes, was probably the greatest offensive line in NFL history.
Yeah, it's crazy because they only had like 2 Pro Bowlers on the whole line.
I know.
All through his career. Yeah, they were good.
And the other side of the spectrum, the worst offensive line in history was Detroit Lions when Barry Sanders was there. Everybody got through.
Hey, on the bright side, I messaged Gator and he actually messaged back this time.
Oh, nice. Hopefully
he said he's watching the game with his dad, so probably not. But I'm like, okay, no problem. Maybe we'll catch you next time.
At least he responded.
Yeah. I mean, like you and I kind of talked a little bit last night. I doubt he'll actually probably come back, but I'm at least going to give it.
Yeah, I do. I kind of do too.
I'm going to at least message him for a bit on it. So be like, hey, I invited him. He decided not to join. Because I was doing that prior. So when we started,
and it's just me. I still think there's some weird unfounded animosity there.
Yeah.
Even though you guys kind of like squashed it over the phone, I don't think he really did.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't there. But I mean, it's like it's gonna be. It just seems that way. Just to disappear like that, and then to come at both of y'all like that, just out of the blue.
Yeah.
It's weird.
No, where was I? Oh my God.
Like I think obviously I think on his end he thinks he's the one that started the channel, whereas like no, it's more us talking during Warzone, and we're like, dude, why don't we do a podcast? And I think it was just like more of a mutual fucking talk about it than anything. We're like, well, we sit in a fucking, pregame lobby, instead of joining a game, we talk for an hour about college football.
Mm-hmm. And he had told me that, like, it was his idea, like, before when we were playing, like, zombies and all together or stuff, like, back in the day but I don't know that because I wasn't there, so I couldn't take his word for it. I was just like, yeah, that's cool. I'm not saying he was wrong, but I don't know. I'm not that kind of person. I don't just take sides if I don't know.
Yeah. But even then, it's not like we had a specific channel. Like, we all streamed from our own platforms. There was no channel. There was no real podcast, per se, like channel-wise.
Be right back.
We'll see. I thought he was a cool kid.
Until, like shortly before, like we formed this channel, like it actually made a podcast-specific channel that we all got on. Because I know he never changed the name of his stream to Cause and Effect. And I'm pretty sure Pear was the one that came up with the name Cause and Effect. Because there was a cause, or I can't remember how he said it, but there was, us picking the games. There was a cause, like an effect to it afterwards. So like we'd pick the games, and then in turn, if we were wrong, like whoever was the loser had a, in Warzone, following that next podcast, whoever was the loser had, a punishment, essentially.
I remember y'all talking about that. I remember that.
Yeah.
At least I remember the stipulations on the loser part. Yeah, I remember that now. That's right.
So there was, like, so many games we'd have to run around with just, like, SMGs or, an SMG and a pistol or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or a sniper and a pistol. Or 1 week, whoever was typically the winner picked whatever the loser had to do.
What if it's all of that and more? What is it then?
Well, it's got to be the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid.
I was back original over damn time.
The salute to service moment. NFL All-Pro lineman Lynn Johnson recently joined a military exercise that provided survival, evasion, resistance, and escape training. Working with a retired Green Beret and Army Ranger, Lane completed his mission, deepening his admiration for our military. To all who have served, USAA and the NFL say thank you. See how USAA honors and protects our nation's military at USAA.com/NFL.
Why do we love USAA team?
Because they still call mom sergeant. And they take
Commercial
that
made no
thing
sense
super
to me without
fast
sound.
through that scary thunder.
Gotta make this play work for me.
USAA membership, always the smart play. Become a member today.
Tomorrow, this isn't just a game. It's Chiefs versus Chargers. It's Mahomes versus Herbert. It's Carol G at halftime. And it's free, only on YouTube. Buy the Old Spice NFL collection.
Buy the Old Spice NFL collection.
No, like this. Old Spice NFL collection.
I didn't know the AP poll flipped Florida State that fucking much.
NFL collection.
Oh yeah, oh my God, they jumped all over them. Like,
Huh?
yeah.
All the way up to 14? What the fuck? Hell, that's way too high. The AFCA coaches poll, I think, is about right. Like 19? I'm cool with that. Right? Now, if they keep winning, by all means, keep them moving up, but like we've said, we don't know what Alabama really is.
So for my playoff, like when we get to it, just to give you a little, I do have them in my top 12. But that's only because of what happened in 1 week. You know what I mean? That's all. Like if the playoffs started right now, that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that's all, you know?
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. And Florida's not. Which hurts my heart, but but I agree with you. We don't know what Bama's going to be like. Bama could just be really bad this year, then Florida State might struggle, you know, the next couple games and not look as dominant. Yeah, I agree with you there.
Right. Florida State could be 5-7 at the end of the year, but Bama's, 7-5.
Yeah, you just don't know. And then
they just had Bama's number, that 1 week, first week.
Like, I know Ohio State beat Texas, but by what? A touchdown? And it was a defensive struggle? But was the defensive struggle and both offenses just were not good? Or, we just won't know until more games are played.
Yeah. Because, realistically, it took a goal line stand for it not to be a tied game.
Yeah. I think Texas failed a few times on some fourth down conversions.
Yeah, but once was, obviously a push at the goal line, but yeah.
I get you. I was just saying, so it's like one of those games where it's just like, I really don't know what to take from that game. But it was week 1.
Yeah.
And it was a fun week, and I want more, but I don't want it to end too soon, It's like,
I know. My dad's like, make sure you reach out to your sister, because you probably could go down to the game with them, this week. And I'm like, it's a night game. I'm like, I think I might just do a podcast and do a live chat during it.
There you go.
Instead of going down to the game, the next week I think it's a midday game, like a 2:30 game. So like that one I might reach out to her. Because they'll be going down to a lot of them because, especially now that my nephew is down there for college, so it gives them another incentive to go down and see him on the weekends.
I'm super surprised that they didn't rank South Florida. Like neither poll.
Yeah.
So that tells me that they thought, do they think less of South Florida what they did, or less of Boise State?
South Florida's in both. Both of them are in, the others receiving votes. So I think they were outside of that and just barely got in. But Boise State was barely ranked too.
I know, but they were. They were ranked 25th,
right?
And they got destroyed. Right? They get destroyed. 35 to whatever.
Yeah.
7 or whatever it was. But then you got Texas Tech who creeps in there, and they beat Arkansas Pine Bluff. It's like,
right.
I mean, it is what it is. It's only week 1. But I was just saying, it's funny how the teams that we choose to be in and the teams we don't choose. Didn't Utah actually have a pretty tough game? Yeah, UCLA. Yeah. They look good.
Yeah, they whooped up on UCLA.
Yeah, I just couldn't remember who they played, and that was Nico Imala, whatever.
Imaliava, yep.
Thank you. Okay.
Oh.
All right, let's jump in. All right, welcome everyone to another episode of Cause and Effect Sports. We got Humble, we got Parrot, we got myself, E-Rat here today. We are going to be going over a little bit of a recap of last week's games. Not too much. We're not going to deep dive. We'll kind of go over some of the bigger games and maybe some of the upsets. We're not going through all of them like we used to in the past. That was just a little too time-consuming. So we'll go over a little bit of those. We got a couple other topics that we'll hit on. Of course, we'll, I think, go over our top 12 rankings, so kind of where we see if the playoffs started today, where we think, what teams we think should be in the playoff at this point in time. We'll go over the big ranked-on-ranked matchups of the week, as well as our teams' matchups, and then any other key matchups or key games that we see on the schedule. Well, those will be our games that we look at and we pick this week. So jumping off right off the bat, we got some. It was breaking news. Obviously not from the college game. It was actually from the NBA. But I'll lead over to Humble. He was the one that saw the story, so we'll have him start it off.
Yeah, let me bring it up real quick. Let me bring up the article. So supposedly Kawhi Leonard received $28 million deal with a fake tree company so the Clippers could cheat the salary tax. This is broke by a reporter named Pablo Torres. He's been on ESPN, quite
Pablo.
often.
Oh, yeah.
Pablo Torres. And I first was made aware of this through the Pat McAfee show. And so what makes me wonder is, one, and supposedly there's a list of more athletes that are kind of attached to fake companies. My question is, how far does it go? And
I was going to say, did he say it was primarily like NBA?
I didn't see the Pablo thing
or anything, or
they only talked about Kawhi Leonard, but they said if it's happening there, how could it not be happening other places? Like, how could these billionaires have all this money and not really spend it to try to get the best that they can? You know, it's like there's going to be, of course, there's going to be owners that are going to abide by the rules, but look at these college programs. Like, people have been getting paid under the table for years. The Oklahoma quarterback you brought up, that was supposedly him and his roommate were working for a car dealership and getting paid, but they weren't working for the dealership.
They were getting clocked in each day, but not actually working. Clocked in and clocked out and getting paid for them. Yeah.
So, and then how are people cheating the NIL now? Doing that? That's what I'm curious about. Go ahead, Pete. I know you're trying to chime in.
Well, what I was going to say is if a billionaire owns that shell company and they're paying that person, then it's considered an advertisement and it's a write-off. That's a business expense.
They brought that up. They're like, did he make a commercial? Were there commercials? Were there appearances? That's what Pat McAfee was bringing up.
Yeah. So that's what I was kind of wondering, I guess, is like, is it used to basically, get $20 million in tax write-offs?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's another. Yeah, I mean, that's another possibility. For the owner. Potential tax write-offs as well as the, obviously, like, instead of, maybe his basketball contract should have been, $80 million for this year, but instead he's getting paid $52 by said team, and then the $28 million from the company outside of it. So it's, like we said, it's not hitting the salary cap. They're not getting penalized for it, so on and so forth.
That's also makes me question is this has to be in his contract. Like, there's no player that's just going to say, okay, it's on here, but we're handshaking this other part. Nobody's going to put that on.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't have to be on that contract. They could have been like, okay, well, here's
a contract.
Here's the thing. You're right. We'll sign a contract with said company first, so you see that you're making this $28 million from this said company, and then we'll sign the NBA contract, right? Because you'd have to do it that way, because he's not going to sign the NBA contract, and then the guy goes, well, no, I decided I'm not going to do that other contract, because then at that point he's already signed the NBA contract.
Yeah.
So you'd have to do it, the company payment, the $28 million contract, and then do the other one. But, I mean, that's crazy to think about. Like, I never actually, I don't know why I've never thought of that happening, like, in professional athletics, because there are, I guess, because we already look at them and they're already getting paid, right? So, like, I never thought of, owners trying to hide payments or hide money because the players are already getting paid. But, I mean, this does make a lot of sense because, like we were talking about in the pre-show with this is, in turn, you could have maybe multiple, guys that would be, kind of max contract guys on a team now that you're not paying them full max contract via the team because you're paying them out elsewhere from, another avenue or whatever.
Well, you think about it like this, too, is like Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons going to Green Bay. If he would have signed Micah Parsons, that would have been 4 players with half of his salary cap.
Right.
That's half the team for 4 players.
Yeah.
So with him not signing there, he's freed up $100 million.
Right. So now you can sign, I mean, not saying that they compare statistically, but, I mean, you can literally sign 4 other good players that might beef up the roster as a whole versus one impact guy. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think we're humble. I think, obviously, where you want to bring this is more to the collegiate level and how it impacts that. So where do you see this potentially impacting college football?
The big money schools always stay on top. That's how I see it impacting. Say, you've got this kid, like we see all the time, they go for these highest bidders, but then you wonder, why are you going to that school when you could have got the same amount from this school? I mean, is there more under the table that they're handing him that they just don't want to talk about because, they can't? That's just what I want to know. And I know it's been happening for as long as we've been watching football. As much as you guys out there want to deny it, people have been getting paid under the table forever, right? And so not just you guys. I mean, you guys out in internet land.
Yeah.
Not you and not you and E. Not you and P&E. Not you two.
A few teams have been found out, right? In the past. Have been caught. And SMU for one, right?
Yep, SMU, Oklahoma. And I guarantee even my school's guilty of it.
Oh, I know Nebraska was in the 90s. Are you kidding me? There's no way in hell they weren't.
So,
you know what I mean? So it's like
Nebraska 100% were paying players in the 90s.
On top of what you guys are just saying with this, it said that there's been more than 8,300 NIL deals approved for $80 million by the new commissioner in college sports. So as
in total,
$80 million.
Because if that's 8,000 contracts for $80 million total, that's not outrageous at all.
With the highest one being $1.8 million.
Okay. I mean, realistically, that's not outrageous. Then.
But what's to say when they send that $1.8 million and it has another $500,000?
Yeah.
You know, like I'm trying to context this with the same things Humble's saying is that, well, yeah, we transferred 1.8, but we just made 4 payments of $500,000 instead of 3 payments of $500,000 and the last one for $300,000.
I mean, obviously, I think there's going to be some, dive in and regulation to that, and that's kind of where I was looking at this most impactful is via the NIL, and that's kind of what I wanted to know is, what's being passed, what's not,
So
now, does it say that they shut down?
Okay, so there's three.
Denied?
It says there's 332 deals that have been cleared to date. 75 have been resubmitted, while none have been in arbitration. And said that nobody feels like they've been wrongly rejected.
Okay.
Let's see. The deals that don't satisfy the value business purpose requirements and cause confusion when the platform first rolled out. So they're trying to say that like there's a check and balance of not having a fake. Well, they're going to be an employee of our dealership. No, they're not.
Right, and it's like okay, if a car dealership, a high-end car dealership, wants to pay you, let's say, $1.8 million, and that might not be $1.8 million in full, like payment-wise, like because it might be a car lease plus payment for advertising or something to that effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if it's something to that effect, I am fine with it if it stipulates how many ads they need to be in to get said full payment.
So
right?
On the NLI Go platform, there's 28,342 students and 3,200 agents signed up for that platform that just released.
Yeah. And see, all of this is, this is going to be all new to all of us, right? Because this is just rolled out in July?
August 31st. August 31st. It's been live for 4 days.
That's right. The NIL especially, yeah. So the NIL literally was August 1st. The reimbursement payment from the university started July 1st. That's what it was.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, with as far as the university goes, I still would be okay with like what I said. I know Humble. I know you don't like this. I know you want names. I get it. And honestly, I'd probably be okay with it because I guarantee from the revenue sharing side, it's not going to be like this player's getting $4 million. The revenue sharing, they're probably going to split that, not evenly, right? But where it's, maybe your quarterback's getting $400,000, your top running back's getting $250,000 to $300,000, something to that effect, because you got to make sure that, when, let's say you're offering, a majority of this $14 million to, let's say, underclassmen, right? If you're offering it to a lot of underclassmen, well, you're not having those guys leave the program, so you're not freeing up more money next year, because it's not like you get a new $14 million next year.
That's been around from Grand Valley State.
You get the same $14 million.
To LSU. You've been there, done.
Or whatever you're allotting your
now,
teams.
we're in the
so some
early
teams
iteration.
14 million, probably some teams
stage,
are 11,
but,
12,
I'm
13, whatever
grateful that we have revenue sharing for our players. They deserve it. We've got NIL opportunities.
That you can spread across.
But we've got to be
sports.
consistent. And I think it starts with the coaches. And I think our fraternity has to lead the way.
That's where I'm like,
we can't be looking for ways to get around it.
It's not like you can say, okay, we'll
the
offer
settlement gives
all
us
these
a
guys
really good blueprint.
Bigger
We've
$1 million contracts
no
now.
We've got to make
because next year I get another brand new $14 million.
Some more guardrails and
That's
NIL,
not how it's working.
third-party NIL. But we are moving in the right direction. And
So
they had
at least that's to my knowledge, that's not how it's working. So I could be wrong on this.
They just had Brian Kelly, coach at LSU, on ESPN. I was just watching a little clip of it, but him talking about, this is the first step. This is where we first launched. I believe in commission to the players because, this is a business that was making money off of them. And he said, obviously this is the first step and we need guardrails and we need transparency, but we're making steps in the right direction. I think that the issue with
and I believe you are.
But I think the issue with it is that this maybe should have been the way it launched first before just saying go for it. And I think we're still probably a couple years out before the transparency and everything like that come out, because I mean they're not like senators. They don't have to disclose their tradings and things like that. And so I get that if you show these people, other than the key ones that are automatically already assumed or whatever estimates saying that they got. So you're saying that a 21-year-old kid has this amount of money. Now all of a sudden, does he need security anywhere he goes?
Yeah.
Because there are bad people out there, and if they know you have money, they'll come find you. So, I get. I'm just trying to think of other things besides just saying I know we all want to know, and maybe it's released at the end of the year, or here's the deals that we have. I won't tell you who got them. You know what I mean? Here's the deals that are on the table for our players.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it's only one good player on the team, like it's process of elimination, you know who got it.
I'm all for these people getting paid. I'm all for the kids making money. I think they get paid way too much, but I think the same thing about professional athletes. But if somebody's willing to pay you, take it. That's how I see it. But my thing is, what's to stop me from being a billionaire and I'm attached to the school, just creating this dummy company and I'm making it legit and I do whatever, an LLC or whatever, I trademark this, that, blah, blah. But it's just a dummy company to hand more people money for things but they don't even have, like this Kawhi Leonard thing. It's like supposedly this whole thing with this Kawhi Leonard, with this company, they are still being investigated, and they were a dummy company that just filed for bankruptcy, I guess, a little while ago, and they defrauded their investors over $250 million. The people who invested into what they thought was a real company, and it turned out not to be. But what's to stop me from not even just doing that, but like I said, just making some dumb little, like, this is the, like, this is supposed to be a company tree. Yeah. And I'm just handing money out to kids on the down low, and nobody ever knows. So not only do I want transparency from the kids, but I also want transparency from people who are attached to the program, right? Like, that way. But I know it's never going to happen, but how else do we police this and make it everybody's got, like, peace of mind where everything's fair, without knowing?
I mean, NIL-wise, you can somewhat do it in the aspect of, okay, because everybody has a collective, right? Every college team has their collective that they.
But my show company's extra to the collective. I have nothing to do with the NIL.
So you're just giving money.
I'm going to hand Arch Manning. I'm going to hand him another $10 million to stay at Texas.
Which, I mean, ultimately, that's no different than it's been happening in the past. So,
but I'm the guy who's also giving money to the NIL. That's what I'm saying. I'm the billionaire guy from Texas Tech who put all this money into the program, but I'm also doing some extra stuff on the side.
I get what you're saying, and
so if these kids' information is not all the information. Because listen, the NFL, these athletes make money too in the pros, and there are bad people out there. But if you've got that much money, then get yourself some security. If you think you feel that way. But like, who's to? How am I going to know unless things are transparent? It's like, okay, this kid's got a contract. you know, he's getting $3 million this year, $2 million next year, $1 million a year, or whatever. However that contract, they have that Texas Tech players contract like all factored out. But then in his bank account, all of a sudden, he's actually got another $17 million.
Where that money come from? Yeah,
exactly, and that's all I'm saying. Like, and I'm not saying we need to know, but somebody should know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Joe Schmo should probably know exactly every dollar this guy's making, but I think there should be somebody who's trusted, or some sort of organization that's trusted that can keep tabs over this.
Yeah, and I mean, ultimately, there could be a whole thing where it's like, okay, you know, at the end, like I gotta and I mean, I don't think anybody would do this just because, I mean, a player going along with this would be stupid. But a guy goes, okay, well, I got $10 million in an account for you, so at the end of your career, that $10 million is yours.
Yeah.
Right? Like, who's really going to be like, okay, I believe you.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
No. But as far as the NIL, like I was saying, with the collective, the nice part is we at least know what donation money is coming in, right? So we know, we could see, I mean, that collective can release. We got $20 million in donations in, you know, the year 2024, and we paid out blah 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 in NIL payments. So you could, I mean, at least there's a transparency there on what came in and what went out. Now, as far as who was paid and who was paid what, right now they can't release that because they're not, like I said, I mean, they're not actually employees of the university, and actually even the collective's not part of the university. So it's a separate entity. So that they do not have to release who made what, which I understand. And I understand your point of wanting to know just so we can, you know, have, I guess, that ease of mind, right? Kind of to know that this other underhanded shit's not happening.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing is we just want that peace of mind so we have that peace of mind knowing that this other stuff isn't happening. Granted, I mean, we knew it was happening in the 90s. We knew it was happening in the 2000s. We knew Reggie Bush was getting paid. We knew Cam Newton got paid at Auburn. I know it went to his dad or whatever, but he was getting paid. So, like, we knew there was some of these underhanded stuff happening, but it wasn't to the extent that it is now, and it wasn't monetarily as much as it is now. Right? Like, I think Cam Newton, didn't he get like $250,000 or something like that?
I can't remember. I do remember reading something about it, but I don't
know. It was like 250 to 350. It was, so, I mean, which in actual, like, that's not a ton of money in the grand scheme of things, especially when we're talking about players now potentially making $3, $4, $5, million a year.
6.8 from Archie.
Yeah. Which realistically, where's that coming from and how?
Oil.
Well, but what's he doing to earn that money?
Well, I mean, after the first game, I don't think that much, but.
Well, I mean, what's it has nothing to do with his play on the field. That's not my point.
I know, I understand. Well, think about it like
what's
this.
he actually doing to get paid said money?
Yeah.
Like, how are these colleges getting away with paying high school recruits to stay committed to their college?
Right.
Like,
now, some of that was prior to this new NIL law, right? A lot of that was, prior. So some of that, which that will be changing now, so that maybe going forward, Arch Manning's not getting paid $6.8 million because he's not really doing anything for said money. Therefore, some of those deals are get probably shut down. Potentially. I have no idea what he's doing. He might show up to 20 different events, a year. So, and they're paying him for those events. I have no idea.
Could be one event.
Hypothetically. I mean, they can't. No, you can't say they're paying $6.8 million for him to show up to one event.
Well, nobody's paying all that just for one deal. I'm saying that the one deal might be for one showing. Might be a grand opening of something. Look at the Kardashians.
You get paid $100,000 for that, and I get that, but that's my point. Is where's the $6.8 million coming from, and how is it derived? Right?
Most of it. So, from my understanding, because Anthony actually runs a company that does this, is that I think most of it comes from actually them signing merchandise. So he'll go fly out to wherever they'll land, hand out jerseys, and then have them sign them. And it's a small run of 100 or 50 or 20 of this.
Yeah.
And that signing is what they're getting paid for. So it's legit. Like when I think of NIL stuff, that's what I think of. That it should be is that it's actually
an ad for Amigos, right? Like that type of stuff. Yeah, because you're using their name, their image, for an ad.
Yeah. So that
and you might pay an actor. You might pay an actor, $100,000 for said ad or $200,000. So paying them, I'm fine with that, in that realm.
What if it's like they run a small, like they have a deal with the campus, or not the campus, but the university, and then they run a small batched card of the piece cut out of a jersey, you get their jersey and their signature, and it's a 40, 50, whatever run of collector cards. And then another thing I had while you guys were talking about making a drink and going and pee and you let the dogs out. When we're talking about donations and things like that, I thought about this of an anonymous donor that donates to a charity. Obviously, this isn't a charity, or donates to a campaign fund or whatever, but it's anonymous. Do you think that that's still a thing? Maybe in the NIL deals, is that, hey, I'm going to donate to your collective, but I'm anonymous. Here's $1 million.
Which I think that's fine if it's anonymous. It's still, you still have a reference point of how that the money came in, is my point. I'm fine with it necessarily, if you want to do it anonymously and do a donation anonymously, but I just want to see where the money's coming in. So how much money's coming in and how much is going out.
Yeah. Do you think, even with a business like this, of the collectives and things like that, there is some shady shit that potentially could be going on. And I think with some of these kids getting screwed, I think that some of those collectives may have been shady in their dealings of the money coming in and go to them, or the money that's coming in is that only 80% that's donated goes to said players, and 20% goes to pay the collective.
Yeah,
because I'd like to see the split on that as well.
Yeah, I know we have, our collective is the Pede family. All the employees of the collective are paid by the Pede family themselves. So any money that is brought in via donation base goes specifically to the players. I don't know if that's every collective, but Humble, I wanted to ask you, what were you talking about high school?
Oh, Kirby Smart's on record for saying how it's crazy how we're paying $20,000 to keep these kids recruited, and then, he's on record saying stuff like this.
Paying the players specifically.
Yeah, Kirby Smart says high school players are earning 5 figures in the December loads to stay committed.
Yeah. Which, NIL-wise, I guess, that's not a hit. That wouldn't even have to go through the NCAA to have that happen, so that can still happen at this point.
Which I find funny because I just...
So maybe we need to look at something like that.
I just went through the NCAA eligibility thing and asked, were you ever paid? So I don't understand. I guess the way it was worded is paid to play the sport. But,
yeah, that's paid to keep your recruitment or keep your whatever commitment.
Kirby Smart tells Yahoo Sports that collectives are striking deals with high school recruits to keep and gain their commitments, paying them as much as $20,000 a month in this unregulated market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a kid that's never even practiced with your team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now,
he hasn't even signed on the dotted line yet.
I was going to say, now on top of that, who's to say some of these NIL collectives aren't paying some of these coaches to push kids a certain way?
Absolutely.
When you said high school, that immediately popped into my head on that aspect, and I'm like, oh shit.
Because you've already kind of got your pipeline where coaches kind of want to push their kids.
Right.
But then now it's like, yeah, then all of a sudden coaches rocking a Lamborghini, a high school coach.
Yeah.
He's in a Bentley. Oh, man, I'm sorry.
Oh, God, there's a deep dive on that. Holy shit.
Right?
And, I mean, I don't know how you would regulate any of that, realistically. I don't know if you can.
Right? I know, it's like... And this could just be some random guy who's not even connected to the school at all, but he's got a buttload of money, and he just loves whatever. He loves Nebraska, and he's like, listen, here's $20K. Just commit. Stay committed. I'll pay you until you sign that down the line.
Miami.
Yeah, right?
That Ponzi scheme motherfucker that weaseled his way onto the sidelines during the Michael Irvin era and all that shit.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Right? Then he gets busted.
And this can be hard to do with all this money thrown around, right? You got all this money, and then you got how many thousands and thousands and thousands of athletes are there, right? Like even at the high school level. So it's like, I don't know how you do it, and it sucks.
I don't know.
And again, I'm not against these kids. I'm against maybe the high school kids. We need to slow down there. Like, what high school kid really needs $20K a month?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like
some of their parents aren't even making that.
But I'm not against you getting paid. Listen, if somebody wants to pay me $1 million to go ahead and screech on a microphone like that, whatever. I suck, but if somebody's saying they're willing to pay me for that talent, I'm gonna take it.
Yeah.
Do I think I deserve it and that's how much I'm worth? No. But so I'm not against the money.
I want to correct what I just said. The parents don't make that much money a year. Sorry, not just that much money a month. That's fucking shit for a month.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know. It's like, I mean, these are high school kids, and then it's good that you're seeing even farther down than that. You know what I mean? Pretty soon we're going to be at the Pop Warner field seeing these kids, and and their parents with all this money, and this kid's already rocking, Gator gear,
rocking a gold chain,
right? It's like, oh my gosh.
Because I mean, hell, like at some point you could have like a Pop Warner where it's like, the 1890 collective is sponsoring said team.
Yeah, pretty soon
right?
That baby girl commitment stuff's gonna be real.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I don't know how. I think in college, I think they will get it. Will it ever be perfect? No, it's not. It's never going to be perfect. Nothing ever is. But I do like how they're at least working towards some kind of resolution to it and regulation to it. I should say more than resolution. But it's there's definitely a long way to go until I think there's less questions than there are right now.
Yeah, I don't think anybody thinks that we're good, let's let this ride. Yeah. I think it's kind of like, let's keep implementing where we see fit. So
yeah. And maybe, as far as the revenue sharing, maybe that becomes maybe those players that are getting paid via revenue sharing no longer are 1099 contract players. They are part of the university, so maybe that said money will be released and show that they're making this part. As far as the NIL, that wouldn't necessarily be released, but you'd at least have some, I guess, clarity to some of the aspects of what they're making, right, in that realm. We'll see if that happens. I don't know if it will, but, potentially down the road it might. All right, let's go into, unless you guys have any other bullet points on that as of right now. Nope. All right, let's kind of look at, we'll just kind of discuss, some of the bigger top 25, matchups that we had last week, and kind of what we saw. Obviously, you had the biggest matchup, Ohio State and Texas. Realistically, not a good showing by either team. Yes, Ohio State pulled out the win, 14-7. Not a good start at all for Arch Manning. I don't think he had even, over 100 yards passing.
He had.
I think he went for 170.
Yeah.
So he ended up, okay.
But he had.
I know.
Julian Saban had 126.
That's right. He was at 40 in the first half. That's what it was.
He was at 78 yards going into the fourth quarter, I think.
That's okay. Yep, that's right. Which they started to find some holes. And it was too little, too late. I know they had the goal line stand where they got stopped, which would have put them, because I think at that point, was it 0-0 or was it 7-0 at that point? I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact.
Because that was in the first half. But I'm realistically, even on the running aspect.
Another Saturday with Saban.
Neither team looked really good running the ball either. Now, is that a testament to the defenses of said teams, like Texas and Ohio State's defense? Are they, that good, or is it, just something... the offenses aren't ready yet, right? Potentially. I don't know. What do you guys think?
You want to go first, Barrett?
Yeah, go ahead.
Texas outgained Ohio State by 170 yards in this game. It was 120 yards in this game. 336 total yards for Texas, only 203 total yards to Ohio State. So, to your point, is that just both offenses struggling, or is that just both defenses just being that good? And we always say defenses are always going to be a little ahead of the offenses at the beginning of the year.
Typically, yeah.
Typically, right? Typically.
Yeah.
Texas ran the ball decently. They averaged 5 yards a carry.
Mm-hmm.
I have to go back to it.
5.7.
Okay, yeah, 5.7 yards a carry for 170, and Ohio State only had 2.3 yards a carry for 77 yards. So, if you're looking at the box,
horrible.
If you're looking at the box score, you're okay, this game wasn't a blowout, but Texas probably came out on top. But no, they lost by 7, right? And they were 1 for 5 on fourth downs.
Yeah.
I think they were
I was going to say, I think that's kind of the big key is Ohio State's defense was stopping them on those fourth downs. I think that was huge.
And they were they were 5 for 14 on third down, so they weren't good on third down or fourth down.
Yeah.
Either was Ohio State. Ohio State was 3 for 12 on third down. Yeah, they were 1 for 2, on fourth down. So but which is better than 1 for 5, right?
Yeah.
But that fourth down stop at the goal line, I think it was the end of the first half because it was 7. Ohio State was winning 7-0 at half.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what to take from either team from this game. I don't know if either one is that much better than the other. right? So this is tough. I'm gonna have to wait and watch a couple more weeks and see how, like, is Manning really the guy everybody says he is, or is he really gonna just struggle all year? And the same thing with this Saying guy, 126 yards passing from a Ohio State quarterback. When's the last time we saw that?
That's what I was going to say. I'm like, realistically, I'm like, I think a lot of people came out saying, like, I think a lot of the narrative was that Saying was the better quarterback of the day. And I'm like, really? Was he, though? Like, I didn't think he was very good either. And from me watching it, like, I didn't think he was very good either. So, I don't know. Like, I got a lot of mixed feelings in this. And, I mean, realistically, at this point, I mean, would in my opinion, I don't know if they're either top 5.
Yeah, and this is
the way they looked.
Yeah, this is hard to tell because was this just two really good teams going at each other where the defenses just had the upper hands, or not?
Right.
But even Jeremiah Smith didn't look good. I think he dropped like 3 passes in the first half, maybe 2. I know 2 for sure. I saw.
I was gonna say Saying didn't look his way a lot either.
Mm-hmm.
He was open multiple times and Saying went the opposite way or whatever.
Yeah, I remember one time he was open deep. Yeah, I remember.
And he started getting frustrated, and I think that's when the drop started happening. Is once he started getting frustrated.
Maybe, but that ball should just being a guy like that should stick to your hands. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, so I don't know. We'll see. Like, who do they play? Who do they got this week? Texas has San Jose State.
Yeah, I think.
That should be a blowout. And Ohio State, I think they also play like Grambling. So yeah. So we're not really going to learn much from either one of them this week either. I don't think, unless they struggle again throwing the ball.
Yeah.
So.
Parrot, thoughts?
Yeah.
I thought this was a fucking snooze fest of a football game. It was horrible to fucking watch. The mistakes were plethora. The stupid fucking timing of the penalties for Texas. It, like you were saying, like if you looked at this game as, I don't know, you think neither offense fucking showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're the number 1 team in the nation, 330 yards for offense is fucking, nowadays in the schemes and the RPOs and everything that's ran, 400's easy.
Yeah, and like you said, 100 from Manning came in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and it.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say realistically, like 330 against a top tier defense isn't horrible.
No, but
so I won't go as far to say that that's horrible against a top tier defense. I just don't know if Ohio State is a top tier defense at this point.
Exactly.
I was impressed with the limitations of mistakes by Ohio State's defense.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way. Texas, on the other hand, there was some gaps, there were some seams, there were some over pursuits on a couple of those. Watching the game, I'm like, what the hell are you doing, dude? You're not staying home. Like, and these are fundamentals that cost you 40 yards on the play.
Yeah.
So here's what I'll say, and it's the first game. It's sloppy. Is this the judge all for the rest of them? Do I think they're a top 10 team, both of them? Yeah. Do I think they're both a top 5 team? That will have to play out. Because I'll still consider them both a top 10 team. Because we don't know, like, if this was either one of these teams faced Florida State in their first game, both of these teams would have been crushed.
Very possibly, yep.
So.
Yep. Very possibly.
And he's not where is it? Where's the box score? There it is. Because Ohio State's quarterback's not a rushing quarterback, and Arch, he barely moves out of the pocket. I mean, I think he had 40 yards rushing.
He actually has good speed.
Yeah, I understand, but they want him to stay in the pocket. So, like, is that what limited your first half? Is because you made him stay in the pocket and try and throw those passes, or is it better for them moving forward to let him kind of go and create the opportunities? So, and especially the way
go ahead.
Especially the way the push of Ohio State was getting in there, their blitz packaging was kind of impressive. But nothing was standoutish to me in this game. It was just kind of like, we're going.
Yeah.
It isn't like this guy is dominating, or this team is dominating, or this side of the balls. It's just kind of blah. So,
yeah.
I think at the end of the year, these teams should be ready. But, like, walking in day one saying we're number 1 or number 3 or 3 and 5 or whatever we are now, you're both a top 10 team. And I don't even know if I'd put either one in the top 5 where you're at currently.
Yeah. And, I mean, we'll get into that, obviously, in a little bit. But
yeah, but I'm just saying these teams, neither one impressed me.
Yeah,
like
I 100% agree.
These numbers, these statistics, the gameplay, this should have been a way more exciting game than it was.
I agree. Check out the message thing here in Cause Effect, and I saw a meme. I don't know if you guys have already seen it. It's an Arch Manning Uncle Rico meme, and it's funny because Arch Manning did not look comfortable most of the game in the pocket to me. He just didn't look like he just didn't look like he belonged.
True.
Just like his uncle.
That's fucking awesome.
That's funny.
And I'm not saying Arch Manning's not going to be a good kid, but a lot of people are not now. And I didn't really know this about Arch Manning. I never really paid much attention to like the kids, but I guess he only played against 2A talent.
Yeah.
Right? So you're going up against 2A talent, and then you get elevated. And I know he's been at Texas now 3, 4 years, whatever, 3 years. But,
3 years, yeah.
You know, maybe his stats, maybe his hype is a little inflated. Of course his hype is inflated because he's a Manning.
Yeah.
Right.
But maybe it's kind of unfounded. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but you get what I'm saying? It's not like he was doing this against like 5A, 6A talent.
They're putting the cart before the horse.
Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, he put up ridiculous numbers. He was the, unanimous number 1 player in his recruiting class.
Yeah.
So it's just
and there's been really good quarterbacks who have come from lower, what am I saying, lower talent pools in high school. So that it's just to be unfounded, but I just never knew he played against only 2A talent in high school.
And you got guys that were 0 stars coming out of high school, Cam Ward, who become, top tier college and, potential NFL quarterbacks. So, but you've seen a lot of, top tier, 4 and 5 star quarterbacks in high school that have gone, the collegiate route, and
yes,
just never figured out.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's just I don't know. We'll see. The time will tell.
Yeah.
I expect him to get better. I really do.
I think you should let a player play to the hype instead of saying every person coming out with a name is generational talent. It's like, are you just saying this because, you want the clickbait, or do you actually really believe that every single seed that comes out of that family is a generational talent?
Yeah. I mean, obviously every program wanted him, but it's like I want to see it on the field before, I necessarily believe it. I mean, it's like, okay, well, when Nebraska brought in Dylan Raiola, it's like, okay, he's a 5-star commit from high school. It's like, okay, great. Let's see you on the field. Let's see how you handle college. Let's see how you handle the games. And for the right now, I think he's a very, very good quarterback. Is he great yet? No, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say great, but he's a good college quarterback. And has a lot of room.
He's better than Manning as of right now. I would put him ahead of Manning if I were to rate the quarterbacks.
And has a lot of room for improvement. So
I agree.
So I mean, we'll see. But I mean, obviously, this is the first time Arch has had a significant amount of starts, but it's not like this was his first start ever. Mm-hmm. It was his first start against a, viable opponent, because all of his other starts had been against, podunk teams essentially, but we'll see how it goes moving forward. Not for just him, but also on the other side with Ohio State and Julian Sains. So, moving on to the other big game, which was an SEC-ACC matchup. The matchup of the two Death Valleys, LSU and Clemson. Okay. To me, did either one of I didn't take away that either of the quarterbacks necessarily in this game really showed out for me either. I liked Cade Klubnik. I thought he made some good decisions, but he was also spotty at times. Same with Nussmeier. I think Nussmeier out of the two, I think will probably be the better quarterback at the end of the year overall. Team-wise, I think this was a very kind of even matched up game. I think that both defenses played well. I think both offenses played decent enough, but I don't know. I mean, LSU definitely, I think overall, looked like a team that could have won this by 21 or more. I know they only won by 7, but I thought LSU, just in the look of the game, I thought LSU was kind of that much better than Clemson. I don't know what you guys think, but that's kind of what I thought. So what do you guys think, and what do you guys take from this game?
Go ahead, Domo.
I thought LSU's defense definitely looked better than Clemson's defense for most of the game. It did. Nussmeier threw for 248, but it took him 38 attempts. And he did look bad. Some of his passes looked nice and crisp, and we already knew the guy could throw. And again, it's just one of those games where both of these teams were just so good and evenly matched up. That's why it was kind of like this low-scoring game. Or, again, are these guys overhyped? I don't think LSU's too overhyped. I want to say the same for Clemson, but Clemson's got to figure out something with their rushing game. 31 yards total and 20 attempts against LSU.
Yeah.
And that's not
That was what? I was going to say, that's with, how many backs were they using?
It shows here that 5 got carries.
I was going to say, I thought it was at least 4.
Yeah, it's 4, and then Clay Klubnik had a rushing yard. That's why there's 5 here. Yeah. And so, they've got to figure that out. And I think at the end of the year that Klubnik will probably have the better numbers, but I agree with you that Nussmeier will be the better QB, only because LSU's schedule is a little tougher. It's not much tougher. I think they have one of the easier SEC schedules, but Clemson really does not have really anybody to get in their way except SMU and Florida State as of now.
Yeah, right.
Who knows what's going to happen with SMU? Oh, and I forgot they do play South Carolina at the end of the year. But they get to go up against them. We don't know what Georgia Tech's going to look like, or Syracuse. And then the way North Carolina played on Monday, I know parents hate it. But if their pass defense is like that on Monday, and Klubnik is throwing as good as he is, he's going to have a field day against them.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if they don't change their packages.
Yeah. Yeah, but when it comes to that game, LSU did look like the better team, but not by much. I just wasn't really impressed with either team. I don't know what to say here. I still think LSU, and still think they're both very good football teams, though. And I'll kind of piggyback off of Parrot's thing. Are they top 5? No. But are they both maybe top 10s? Yeah.
Yeah.
These should be both a pair of top 10 teams. As of now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, all of this is subjective. It's hard to say a team's top 5 when, some teams have played ranked matchups, and then you have other teams that played a podunk, nobody.
Exactly. That's why it's hard to judge these games sometimes after week 1.
So, Parrot, your thoughts?
I think it's pretty much the same as Humble was saying, is that I do believe that I think LSU is more polished in the ins and outs on offense and defense. The package was better. I do think that there were definitely some misses on the Clemson's play calling. And I think running a package where it's throw, out, throw, go for it. It's like you're limiting everything. You're not setting any. There's no disguise of anything. It's pretty basic to cover. Like, so I don't know. Like, was that helping LSU defense? Maybe, but I wasn't. In Klubnik, I thought he looked like ass. To be honest, too. He had 3 good throws the whole game, and I was like, that was on point. So I don't know if it's because of the lack of what they put together, or I don't know, but there's some damage control that needs to be done at Clemson. Not saying that LSU looked perfect, but I'm just saying there's some damage control that needs to be done. You're at home, it's your home opener, like some of the packages they put together, I'm like, what in the hell are you fucking thinking?
I mean, I think their best running back of the day was actually a converted wide receiver. Number 8. I think he was a wide receiver for him, and I know they converted him. I remember them saying that at the beginning of the game.
For who?
Wow.
For Clemson.
Oh, Adam Randall?
Adam Randall.
Yeah.
Adam Randall.
Yeah.
And I didn't watch this game in its entirety because it was kind of going on the same time as the UF game, so I was back and forth.
Right.
As much as I could. So you guys will have a way more insight on this. I'm just kind of going by what I remember watching and then looking at the box score, which doesn't always tell everything. Because LSU had the ball 15 minutes more than Clemson.
Yeah. And that's why I said LSU looked like a team that could have kind of potentially broke it open.
Yeah, and I couldn't see why, having the ball that much more.
Right. They didn't. They made, mistakes at times, but they could have broke it open.
I agree, but I don't think Clemson, even it being after the first half, I didn't think Clemson did anything. Like, their package calling was just atrocious. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, you're supposed to improve in the second half, and they went down.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like, what changed?
Is that a testament to Clemson, or is that a testament to LSU and maybe their scheme change as well? And I think it could have been twofold, right?
Yeah, I understand
So,
teams are going to make changes and things like that, but and I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just this year, or we're 1 game in or 2 games in, but the adjustments or lack thereof is just atrocious.
Yeah, I mean,
I get that these are evenly matched, supposedly, teams, but it just seems like the execution is like a bit like changing schemes should be seamless, but it seems like some of the players just aren't getting it. Of like, okay, well, my positioning's here now, or you know what I mean? Or when
the wrong fit.
Yeah, and get it. Nobody's going to be perfect every single game, every single play, and that's why we play 4 quarters and at least. And it is what it is. But limitations and mistakes, staying home. It's just, I don't know. Fundamental footballs seem to be not there on opening weekend for some of these teams.
One game I will say that I thought there was a little bit more fundamentally sound amongst the 2 teams. I think this was probably one of the better matchups and better games of the weekend. Overall, I think both teams played not great by any means, obviously. I mean, it's week 1, but I think both sides, I think, played a fairly good game, and that's Miami and Notre Dame. Notre Dame, obviously, they struggled a little bit in the first half, getting their new quarterback, I think getting his feet under him, I think took a little bit longer than maybe expected. But he looked solid in the second half / fourth quarter. Miami out the gate looked like a lot better team than Notre Dame, and then Notre Dame kind of rang them back in. So overall, I mean, I think this was a very, very even matchup. Is Notre Dame going to be as good as they were last year? I don't know. I don't think they will. In my opinion, I like the young quarterback. I think there's, a good upside for him. I just don't think it'll be this year per se. I think next year will be kind of that jumping point for him. But he'll gain a lot of experience this year, leading into next year. Last year, a lot of their offense revolved around a quarterback that could take off and run. And that's what made them a dangerous team last year. Miami this year, I don't think they're as high-powered as they were offensively as they were last year with Carson Beck at quarterback versus Cam Ward. They're not as high-powered, but they still have a lot of skill-set players that could be deadly. And Carson Beck played a pretty good game. He actually proved a little bit more to me, not early on some of those deep balls as we talked about. But overall, he looked fairly decent. Miami defensively, I think, definitely got better over last year. So, good close game. I think could have gone either way realistically, but good win by Miami coming out of the gate.
Yeah, I think Carson Beck, he managed the game very well. He didn't wow you, but he didn't make any mistakes to hurt you in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Right? 20 completions, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, and what a beautiful catch by C.J. Daniels.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I thought my Gator guy had the catch of the day with his one-handed catch, and then here comes C.J. Daniels, one-handed catch into the end zone.
Yeah, he made Beck look great.
Yeah, that was a great catch on that play.
Because otherwise, I was going to say, otherwise, that's picked off, right?
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be. Yeah, because the guy was right there to do it, right? And then, he just put his hand up. And then, their defense looked really good, right? They were flying around. They ran the ball decently. They didn't run the ball great, but Notre Dame's got a good defense. That guy's he's defensive minded, right? The Notre Dame coach.
Yeah.
On the flip side, Jeremiah Love, 10 carries, supposed to be right, one of the best running backs in college, supposedly.
Yep.
10 carries, that's almost criminal.
Yeah.
That's like Parrott last year watching North Carolina and why are we not giving Hampton the ball? Why the hell has he only touched it 4 times?
Yep.
It's like, okay, he got stuffed on first down. Give it to him again. Let him get a rhythm.
Yep.
And it just seemed like Notre Dame never got into a rhythm. Yeah, they scored, but they just never looked like they were in a rhythm. Miami looked like they were in a rhythm. Times to me.
Yeah.
And then Notre Dame, I'm going to call it out. I think they lose again this week. They play Texas A&M. It is at home, but I think that running quarterback, I think Texas A&M is going to pose some problems for them, and I think they're going to start the season 0-2.
I mean, that's the same. It's almost the same situation as last year. Is they started, they lose and then won out. Went 14-1 last year,
Yeah.
So, I like the coach. I'm hopeful for Notre Dame, and I hate saying that. And I hope he changes schools to somewhere where I can root for him. But currently, I mean, man, imagine him coming to Florida.
Yeah.
Oof.
I like him a lot. I like him as
I do too,
Yeah.
and I want him to succeed, even if it is under the Notre Dame themed. I like his schemes. I like his discipline. I like his
demeanor on the sideline.
Everything. Like he holds himself well, and his players do as well. This game, like, there's certain things that happened in this game, moments, I think, that made Miami come out and win. This was probably more exciting of any of the games of the weekend that I had seen. This was a knockout, drag out, fought well. I don't think either team is too far off of where they're supposed to be. Just some fine tuning, but I do agree with you. Like Notre Dame, they need to run the ball more.
Yeah, especially with a young first-year quarterback.
Yeah, that sets up everything for them. So like, but I get like you're like, oh well, we think we're gonna run, so we're just gonna throw. Well, that bitch in the fucking ass. For that fucking interception. Carr's a little bit mobile, but I don't see him as like, he can escape to make something a little bit longer, but not. I don't see him sprinting 45 yards down the sideline or something like that. So
he's not Riley Leonard.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a pocket passer in the last resort run. But that's why I say they need to have more emphasis on the run. So maybe even some screens or something like that. Something to get.
And then realistically, they got like a 1-2 running back punch. Like it's like, yeah, I get Jeremiah Love's their top tier. But that God, I can't think of his name.
Jadarian
Price.
Yeah.
Price. There you go. Like, that dude had almost 800 yards last year, too.
Yeah.
Partially because Love was injured part of the year. But Love had, almost 1,200 yards rushing last year. So they had 2,000 yards between those two backs. They got it.
I think he was the hotter hand of the two, too, against Miami.
I think he was, too.
I'm trying to find the game. Here we go.
Yeah, he had 45 yards, and Love only had 33.
Yeah, he's a little bit more of a quote unquote, if you want to use the term, change of pace back, where he's a little bit more speed oriented, whereas Love's the more of the power.
But see,
he's lightning to Love's thunder.
Yeah, I remember what was it? That playoff run by Love, where he gets hit in the backfield. And, like, he's getting drug on and, like, pulling guys for 3-4 yards. Like, Price isn't doing that, but Love can.
Yeah, but I think with, like, especially in college with the two different backs, the defense doesn't know. It's hard for them to adapt of, like, oh, this guy's going to bounce it outside because he has the speed, or this guy's going to try and truck me because he has the power. So, like, defensively wise, I think it creates a different dynamic of like who's in, of the way they're playing or whatever, because like both of them can receive out of the backfield, so I don't think that's an issue. That's why I say that I think Notre Dame will be fine. But I don't not saying that they're going to win out or something. They're definitely a team that has a dynamic. I just think they need to scheme it a little bit better than what they did. Like, I mean,
I was going to say, rely on their fundamentals, right?
Yeah, 2-to-1 ratio, and like you're not to put the kid Carr in the situation of like, throw. Like, they're going to make mistakes, and obviously you want them to make mistakes and learn from them and things like that. And you're trying to put them in situations, but you're in this game. Like. Yeah, I know it's kind of sucks that you're sitting there trying to run, but there's different things you can run to one, either give your quarterback some reps and some I almost said valor, but not valor, but make him feel like these passes are connecting this touch, and where he can maybe go, you're going under, you're going 5, you're going 15, these type of things, utilizing your running backs a little bit more in the backfield, because those are the playmakers in my eyes on that team for Notre Dame. So
yeah, I mean, more, yeah. I mean, I think they have one legit playmaker at wide receiver. They have a couple other good wide receivers that I think are, potential good route runners, possession type guys. But they have one guy that could, take the ball to the house type shit.
Yeah, it's Reardon or whatever the hell his damn name is. I can't even say it. But I just think that they'll figure it out. I think I have faith in that coach, but I hate to say it too.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right, last game of last week we'll chat about is the big upset. I know we've talked about this multiple times, so I don't think we're going to probably dive into this too deeply because I know we talked about it kind of all week or all weekend during some of our other shows. So, but Alabama and Florida State. Alabama, obviously, we'll see what they are moving forward. They definitely. I mean, I still think they're very, obviously. I mean, no ifs, ands, or buts. They're a fucking talented team, right? They got talent everywhere. From the running back side, wide receiver, their defense is talented. But just because you have talent doesn't mean you have a great team. You have to work together. I didn't see that in week one. Not to say that it can't come together, but at least at this point, it didn't. And Florida State, for a team that 2 years ago went undefeated and lost their bowl game, didn't they lose their? Yeah, they lost their bowl game. They finished 13-1. That's right. Now half their team sat out their bowl game, so that neither here nor there, because they got their ass whooped in that bowl game. To last year, yeah, I mean 63 points by Georgia or whatever the hell it was.
Yep.
To last year, starting off the season over in Ireland and losing to Georgia Tech week 1, to all of a sudden just having a horrendous year, going 2-11 or 2-10 last year, to starting out the year like they did. Now, I don't like this philosophy based on how coaches are, the transfer portal. I mean, we've talked about this, Norvell, this is kind of almost his MO, it seems like. Brings a lot of guys in on the transfer portal, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
The year they went undefeated, that was a heavily transfer portal team.
Right.
And then last year was kind of not as much in the portal, more of the recruiter.
Yeah, I mean, they brought in DJ Uiagalelei, and that totally backfired last year, right, from the quarterback aspect.
And then this year it seemed like everybody they introduced was a portal transfer.
Yeah, I mean, literally. I mean, running back from blah blah blah, wide receiver from blah blah blah. I'm like, literally, is this all we're gonna hear? I mean, I remember talking about in some of these games, when they say said player formerly from Michigan, formerly from blah blah blah, or transfer from blah blah blah, transfer from I don't care where they transfer from. They're at this school now. What does it matter where they were before? I don't care. Right? Just tell me about the kid. Per se. But Florida State came out from the get-go. Their defense, that defense
was flying.
might have been one of the top defense I saw all weekend. Offensively, I don't think it's top offense I've seen all weekend, but
they didn't need to be.
Right.
Their defense against the run, yes, their defense against the run was lights out.
Yep.
Yeah.
They held Alabama, I think, to like 85 yards or something like that rushing for the entire game.
Yep.
And it's not like the game was out of hand and Bama had to throw the ball a lot. It was a 7-point game there. Until at the end there where Bama, I can't remember exactly. Maybe they failed on the fourth down and then Florida State went right down and scored or something like that. I can't remember exactly what happened.
Florida State broke it open late. Yeah.
Yeah, this game was weird to me because it seemed like Florida State, like you're saying, dominated this game. And I think it's because we just were shocked about how well they were playing against Bama. Right?
Yeah, that might be it.
Florida State only had 40 more yards than Bama. Florida State only had the ball like 50 seconds more than Bama.
Yeah, but
they rushed for almost 200 more than Bama.
Yeah. It was that defensive line is what impressed me, is that they controlled it, and for Bama to have to switch to just passing, either short or outside or something, just to create those opportunities, just I think shut down part of their. Bama's always been a good rushing team.
Yeah.
So for them
that's what they want to do. Absolutely.
So because it's part of the majority of people's game plan is to control the clock and control the situations. But you threw 43 fucking times this game, and you didn't barely even completed half of them.
Yeah, and it's not because they were down by a lot; they just could not run the ball, like you're saying.
Yeah, no, I mean, and being that dynamic of like having to run. Like the Florida State could, like there wasn't, a semi through some of these holes. It was actually good running plays. Where, was it? Yeah, I think they had 6. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 6 running backs plus their quarterback that were running.
Yeah.
Like it was, you wouldn't know who was in there. You would have thought the fucking water boy was on the fucking roster. Like, why do they have 9 running backs going in here every time? But they just, and it wasn't. It's not like everybody's rushing for 100-yarder or something.
Right.
I guess the quarterback ran for like a 78, but these are decent gains that they are getting. So to even switch away from that, like to have that in your back pocket, like you're averaging almost 5 yards a rush, you're not getting away from that. Your quarterback doesn't need to throw. He only has to throw.
Yeah, and go ahead.
I'm just saying that him being that running, and it scares me about this is he is that run quarterback, but can he stay healthy? Because he's not huge.
He's small.
Yeah, can he stay healthy the rest of the year? Because he had the same situation 2 years ago. So
didn't they list him at 5'11", 200? I think they said. I think he was 5'11", 200.
Yeah, 5'11", 200 pounds.
He's not a big guy.
No. So like Florida State impressed me. They had a game plan. They executed perfectly. But it seemed like Alabama couldn't, like, to not be able to handle an RPO quarterback like that is concerning for them in their schedule. It is extremely concerning.
Yeah.
And for them not to be able to rush, because you're not going to be able to control the ball. They got some of these opportunities in time of possession because Florida State just took it down and fucking scored.
Yeah.
That was 2 plays on a couple of them. And it's like, yeah, your time of possession looks the same, but it's because it only took them 15 seconds, like back in Oregon days, where it would take them 15 seconds to score. So those opportunities were made, but you're not able to control possession of the ball. Like the Ohio State-Texas game, Ohio State went down the field. It took them 9 minutes to fucking score. Like, that's half a fucking quarter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So, like, yeah, obviously Texas's offense isn't going to have an opportunity, but, like, so I'm hopeful for this Florida State team. I'm concerned about this Alabama team because they don't even look like a top 15 team to me. And I hate that's what it is, and, like, everybody's calling for this guy's head, and, like, so you compound that with all the pressure of, like, you come out on opening day against a team that's unranked and gets just slammed, you know, and everybody's saying, well, and like I think I told Eric that, but, like, people were messaging some Alabama fans and said, just so you know, it's $70 million to buy out his contract. So like, and with larger programs like this, they're used to winning. They'll try and take people's heads off immediately. So interesting to see the bounce back, but this Bama team wasn't even a top 15 team in my eyes.
Yeah.
And
Bama's going to get their bounce back this week, for sure.
I get.
Yeah.
But this Florida State team was 100% the team of the weekend for me. Through and through, they impressed me. Like, you know, Alabama's going to have the talent, the speed, they're going to fly, and they, in my eyes, walked circles around them. They were where they needed to be. They couldn't fucking run the ball like they wanted to. Yeah, they threw the ball, but that's all they were trying to do. So, like, if Florida State goes against somebody, like, they need to tighten up their cornerbacks and stuff like that, but other than that, I mean, I was thoroughly impressed by Florida State, and
one
they looked
question
like
I
a
have
top
for you
10
guys.
team.
One question I have for you guys coming out of this game, because I mean, obviously, I think Alabama, even on the defensive side, like, you could see, I mean, they were flying around like the field too. So it's not a matter of speed or anything, but what I think I saw in this game, and it just seemed, I don't know if it's just like what you saw, and like maybe it's not like actually true, but it seemed like both teams, like this out of this game specifically, it seemed like both teams were moving at a faster pace, like just speed-wise. Like, their players were flying around the field faster than a lot of other games.
Yeah,
like, a lot of other games, like, I mean, the defenses looked sound in other games, but it just seemed like they were, like, slower moving.
You could, if you compared this game speed-wise, like on the field versus the Ohio State-Texas game, this game 100% looked like it was on fast-forward, like 2.5 times.
Right.
It was, these guys were fucking flying. Where
But
when you watch Ohio State-Texas game,
were they
just,
actually?
I don't know, man.
Were they actually moving faster? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, it just seemed, you know, watching it with our own eyeballs, right? It just seemed like these two teams were moving faster on the field than other games.
Here's what I'll say is that when people make their assignments, spots open up, and the field all of a sudden becomes a very large, wide open space.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that...
I'm sorry, Chris. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I was like, people were hitting their assignments. So, like, when people hit their assignments, it seems like there's nobody on the field besides the guy that's running the fucking ball. It's like everybody's standing still besides the guy running the ball on offense. And then when the assignments are hit on defense, it just collapses down into something slower. Which I'm saying is, I guess the turn is that there was a lot of assignments that were hit in the Ohio State-Texas game that kind of slowed the gameplay and made it look almost mute. Where in this, there was missed assignments where it opened up the field of, like, these guys are just fucking all over the place.
I don't think this game was necessarily played at a faster pace. I think it seemed that way just because the plays went longer than, say, the Texas-Ohio State game. I mean, Texas-Ohio State, they struggled to get 400 yards combined total offense and this game went for like 800.
Yeah.
So, like, it's like comparing sprinters. You got one guy who comes out of his block and he takes 3 steps, but then you let the other sprinter go 20 meters, right? Who's going to look like they're moving faster in a sense? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What impressed me with this game was I got to watch this game in its entirety, and it seemed like Florida State just was dominating everywhere. But then when I look at the box score, they weren't really. They were just making the plays they needed to. Like Castellanos.
Yeah.
He didn't wow you.
No.
But when they needed a third down run, he did it.
Yep.
Right. Like, because he didn't throw very well, 152 yards.
Yep.
He ran for 78. You know, and it's like, but Florida State it just seemed like they were the superior team for some reason, but the box score doesn't show that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a hit.
Now, I mentioned to E. Hold on, I mentioned to E that I thought the Bama looked desperate right off the bat because they went for it on 4th down twice in one drive.
Yeah.
Got it the first time, and then the second time they didn't, and then Florida State went right down and scored.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, what is Bama doing? Is there something that we know that they don't? I didn't say this, but it's like, did they already know they were going to be in a track meet?
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, or because like, did they already know their defense kind of sucks this year? Because where is this rush defense for Bama? Bama usually always has studs on the line. And they gave up 240 yards rushing?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that is, potential quarterback run, which could be quarterback scramble. So if you're a man-on-man coverage.
I get you, but he only ran for 78. So take out that 78, they still ran for like almost 160.
Yeah.
Which is a hell of a fucking day in my eyes.
That's all I'm saying. And against Bama, that's like.
Yeah, but
you usually don't see that.
But at the same time, even the passing, they averaged almost 11 yards per catch. So I mean, you're 5 on the ground and 11 in the air.
The difference in Bama this year, obviously, their quarterback, right? If you had Milroe on this team right now, would they have won that game? I think they might have, just because he has that running capability himself, right?
It definitely would have been more of a shootout for sure. Yeah.
So it could have been a completely different game in that aspect, whereas the quarterback they have now is more of what Kellen DeBoer wants, which is more of a pocket presence passing quarterback. I mean, that's more what he had when he had at Washington. I mean, yeah, he had Penix who could run, but was a pocket passer. So that's what he wants, and, obviously his first year at Bama, he had, he inherited Milroe, so it's not like he's going to get rid of, one of the top quarterbacks in, who was listed as one of the top quarterbacks in college football. Like, he's not going to demote him or get rid of him. So, but, yeah, I mean, just, changing the offense like that, I mean, maybe there's just some growing pains in that aspect, in week 1 of,
maybe. This is year 2 for him, right?
Well, right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying now week 1 with having a true pocket passing quarterback versus having a run style, a pocket like a passer / runner in Milroe. So maybe that is the difference, and there's just some growing pains in getting that ironed out in week 1. So I mean, we'll see moving forward. Obviously, I think Alabama's talented enough.
Here's a thing that
on the roster.
When I inject, if you take Bernard out for receiving for Alabama, they have 100 yards for the rest of the team.
Yeah, and their top, who's Ryan Williams. How many? He didn't have.
He had 30 yards.
Catches.
He got a concussion. I think he got knocked out of the game.
I think I remember that too. Early, second quarter?
Yeah.
I think
something like that. Yeah.
Second. It was either second quarter or early third, I think.
My thing with Bama, like, I wasn't wholly impressed with Florida State's offense. I thought Castellanos, like I said, made plays when he needed to.
Yeah.
I was supremely impressed with their defense, though, especially their run defense. My thing with Bama, though, is if They're not going to win
White.
many games.
Just say
they're not going to win many games.
Tony White.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. They're not winning many games this year, only rushing for 87 yards.
No.
And giving up over 200.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's my thing with Bama.
Yeah. And I mean, hey, no, I got to give love to Tony White. Like, I mean, he's a damn good coordinator. Obviously, was Nebraska's coordinator for the last 2 years. Went there. A couple of the recruits. A couple of players we had. One that he had brought in from Syracuse when he went to Nebraska was Stephon Thompson at middle linebacker, as well as James Williams. Both started from Florida State, and both played pretty damn decently for him. James Williams, I know he got multiple pressures, and I think he got 1 sack, but multiple pressures on Alabama's quarterback. So, I mean, hey, good for them. I got to give them love, but still, fuck Tony White. All right. Let's get into kind of where damn it. That stupid thing. Let's get into rankings and kind of where we would slot the teams if it was motherfucker. I keep clicking the wrong goddamn thing. If it was starting tomorrow, like if the playoff was starting tomorrow, who are we picking to be in the playoff? And we can kind of go multiple ways. We don't have to go, okay, what was your top 12 or whatever. We could start, let's go maybe who our top 5 are, and then we'll kind of go down from that. So, Parrot, if you want to start with who you think your top 5, or, I mean, if we want to go top 12, we could go top 12. It doesn't matter. Either way.
I don't even know if I have a top 5, to be honest with you, because, like, who did Penn State play, LSU played, Ohio State played, allegedly.
Yeah.
So, like, Penn and Georgia played Marshall. Like, that's not a challenge.
Right, but I mean, you're looking based on rankings.
I know. I'll give you top 3. I don't even have a top 5 because like nobody's really being challenged. I'll give you, from what I saw this weekend, I would go. Give me LSU. I guess I can give you 5. Give me LSU. Give me Florida State. Give me... No, they didn't play. Give me Miami. And then... I don't even know how that's a fucking game. That wasn't a game either. What did I say? LSU, Miami, Florida State. I don't think they had enough, though. I'll say Clemson. And then probably Ohio State at 5. The reason I say this, and I know, like you're saying, if it ended today, from what I've seen out of, like, I can't judge a team that didn't play anybody.
But I judge it on the aspect, and this is why I say I have a top 12, and that's because I have my own, quote-unquote, in my mind, what the preseason top 12, top 15 in my mind is.
I understand.
And so I'm basing it off of that and what I've seen so far. So that's what I'm going off of.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that I'm not going off of what they ranked them. I'm going off of gameplay that I saw. And,
right.
Yeah. So that would be my top 5.
Yeah.
And I think that I can't take the fluff games as a game. You know what I mean? I understand it's good for the lower colleges and things like that for them to play up and make some money and things. So it's good for the teams that play them so they can actually work through some things in live game. But
versus their own team's defense, yeah. I mean, you can only go against your own team's defense so much.
Can I
and I mean, at some point you don't improve anymore.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah, shoot.
Instead of them playing a spring game, why isn't there a pregame? Almost like a preseason for college football.
Me and E were talking about this the other day, and I flirted with the idea of, these podunk teams that you play, just bring them in as a preseason game and still pay them.
Yeah.
But just bring them in as a preseason game, work out your kinks, maybe even do 2.
Yeah, full refs, everything.
I actually, so after we talked about this, I saw somebody else bring this up, and I think it's a fucking hell of a good idea.
They're selling tickets. You know what I mean?
Fuck bowl games. Fuck bowl games in December, right? Don't worry, no more bowl games, whatever, right? You get paired with said team in the bowl game time, that's your opening game.
And then you don't play anything for like 6 months?
No. You don't play.
You don't play in the
you're taking that week.
Opening game?
Yeah.
Yep, that's what you play week 1.
Well, that's totally different than what Paris suggested, though.
I just want, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, NFL teams go and they, like, have mixed practices with different teams, right? Since they're probably all, like, in Florida or wherever. And so instead of having the spring game, bring in some of these other teams.
Yeah, I mean, there's been talk about doing that. I think some colleges actually talked about. I think Colorado was one of them. Dion was one of them, talking about doing that. And
it makes, like, white versus red or blue versus orange or blue versus white. Like, it just, who gives a fuck? You're playing against each other.
Right.
Especially nowadays when a lot of teams aren't even having a spring game.
Yeah.
They're having skills challenges and
But that's the thing is, like,
modified spring games.
A lot of the teams, the reason they didn't want to do spring games is because of transfer portal window that was opened up after spring ball. If they no longer have that transfer portal window, and it even bringing in, like, what you're saying now, like, if there's a transfer portal window, a lot of teams aren't going to even do what you're saying. Because if there's a transfer portal window opened up after spring ball where kids can transfer and go to any other, like, if you play against whatever and all of a sudden this kid breaks out, you're going to have multiple teams coming and offering NIL deals and money to try and recruit that player away from your program. So I get it.
Good for them.
But no, like, why? You're having to actively recruit your own roster?
They do that every year now. Yeah.
Right, but you do it at a certain point when there's only certain windows.
Yeah.
Why are you giving more opportunities?
Because you wouldn't actually have your team ready for game versus a team
like,
live. Like
I just what I was going to say in the spring. I don't think that's. But what's I mean, you're not getting ready for a game in the spring.
Yeah, I don't like it in the spring because
doing it in the
all
fall.
That time.
Doing it in the fall, 100%. I'm fine with that.
This is what I want. Like SEC is now going to 9-game schedules, right?
Yep.
And Florida's going to want to keep FSU on their schedule. That's just a storied rivalry. We won FSU. That's 10 games. I think our first 2 games should be preseason games against these lower teams that you're paying them anyways. You pay them. That way you can get other people in. You kind of treat like the NFL. Maybe the first game your starter only plays like the first quarter, right? And then you get all these other guys in. And then the second game, maybe the starter goes a little longer. And that way maybe you're more up to speed when you finally hit that, and you're finally hitting your conference schedule.
And they're already televised.
These teams, and this spring, and these preseason games can be televised. Absolutely, right?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how we're
but
kind of imagining it.
Maybe the preseason games,
it's not in spring. It's like say 2 months out or a month out.
Well, I mean, I would still do it in August. Like I wouldn't want to do it.
Even schedule 3 preseason games if you want. Pay another team to come in to treat it like a true preseason to let you guys get out these kinks.
Yeah, just pay somebody come in so you're going against some other opponent in a scrimmage at home, and that's not televised.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that okay, so
make it open to your fans so your fans can come see, but it's not televised.
It could be delayed. Yeah, it can be delayed televised if you're really concerned about it. But like what I'm saying is that you're going against somebody that doesn't know a play that you're going to run. You're going against somebody that's not across from you for the past month and a half or whatever. You're going.
I completely understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, so it just makes sense to move to something like that because I really have never understood the spring games of just go against each other.
Well, I mean,
the
spring games, but it was a showcase typically for, maybe your incoming freshmen that just came in January, or the players that hadn't played at all last year or the prior, whatever years, for the fans. That's what it was for. Now it's getting, with the transfer portal and all that, it's gotten to the point where it's basically a showcase to other teams what players you have on your roster. And they'll look to go out and get said players.
Did you guys see that we are most likely going to just one transfer portal window now?
Yes, which I do agree with. I do like.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I say televise these preseason games too. I want to sit here in Daytona and watch Florida play, Florida Bible College, Tech. I'll watch it at home.
Yep.
And then if
I'm not saying you don't have to. Right.
If you got football on all day, I'll even check out, Nebraska's spring game against whatever, Nebraska Community Ladies Swim Team or whatever. I'm making up
synchronized swimming.
And I mean, obviously, those aren't going to be probably televised on like Fox or ABC or anything like that. But SEC Network, Big Ten Network, ACC Network can all televise those games.
But they might, especially in today's day and age where these kids are getting money.
Yeah.
They might.
Potentially.
All the hype behind Arch. People are probably going to want to turn into that first because, like, usually preseason games are good. For the first quarter? People might want to check that first quarter out and see how Arch looks.
Yeah. Now, I
mean, what else?
I was gonna say, if we're getting on to that point, now what? So how do we? So do we keep it a 12-game schedule, or do we drop it to, let's say, an 11-game season schedule, and you have one preseason game that doesn't count towards your record, or like how? That's what I'm trying to figure out how we do that.
I saw it as a 3-game preseason and then your 10-game regular season, because 9 SEC games plus Florida State. So a 10-game schedule, because the preseason's got to eat up something.
Are you guys getting rid of Miami every year?
Well, we don't play Miami every year. We just signed we
that's
used to.
You guys don't play
once
That's
the
right.
SEC expanded, we kind of had to drop them, and now we just kind of brought them back.
That's right.
In.
Yeah, okay.
But Florida State is the constant every year.
Yeah.
Which I would love to have Miami every year. So say they go to 11 games and keep Miami for us. Then we have 2 non-conference tough games, which would kind of probably be good, because what if the SEC is just not good that year, and you're really not getting a good judge on, say, Florida, because they went undefeated in a weak SEC. But, man, they played these really 2 tough ACC teams or whatnot, whatever.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So maybe 11 and then 2 preseason games?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you're extending the season essentially 1 game, but in-season record-wise, you're dropping it down 1 game.
Yeah, and then really all you have to do is just start the season a week earlier for the preseason game, right? For one of the preseason games.
Yeah, you just start week 0.
Yeah, you don't have to start any later, so it wouldn't push like the bowl games or whatever, all that stuff. And I like the bowl games. That's just me.
Well,
a lot of people don't play, but I think it is kind of cool to some of the college kids and some of the fans that just like to travel.
Yeah.
And see these new cities. It was really cool going to New Orleans.
Maybe you do the bowl games, but you do the bowl games, like I said, preseason. Or not preseason, but maybe that's the first regular season scheduled game.
What?
Maybe. I like the bowl games at the end. I like them. And then once they start contracting these kids into the bowl games, I think they'll get more exciting because these kids won't sit out.
One of the things of getting rid of the bowl games, though, is potentially you can start the playoff earlier.
What the whole point of this situation is to still get some of the lower conferences in Division I paid, but not take it up as a fluff game. So,
right, and I'm not going away from that.
Why not?
Let me kind of preface the bowl games like this to you, E. Nebraska didn't make the NCAA tournament in basketball, right?
Right.
But you still watched that other tournament they were in. And if you could, you probably would have traveled and went and watched them play.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like saying, well, since they didn't make the NCAA, all other basketball tournaments, NIT, that Las Vegas cool thing that they did this year, whatever it was called, we're no longer going to do that because you didn't make the tournament.
Yeah.
I think we should still keep all that stuff and somehow incentivize the kids to stay and play. Because like you said, Florida State, yeah, Georgia put the smack on them, but realistically, Florida State had 30 players didn't play or something, or 40 players didn't even go to the game or something.
But maybe you play the bowl game and you play that said opponent, but then you play the same opponent first game of the year.
Maybe then you would have to. Is it a preseason game then, or now you're adding an extra game to your schedule. So now you can't just do your 9 conference games and your 2.
No, I mean, that would be basically it would be a set open week every year.
Because I don't care if there's a rematch. I don't care if I play the same team in a bowl game for the first week.
And then play again. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just, and the reason that somebody brought this up is so you're not getting week 1 of the regular season all these podunk games, right? It was to enhance the games because these were teams that you were matched up against the year prior.
But are we thinking about the podunk teams? So if we're getting rid of all these podunk games, how are these teams funding?
Well, that's why
you take these podunk games, they take the money for that butt whooping, and it goes into their program, right?
Right, but that's maybe why you do it, in preseason. You have the preseason games, like we talked about.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
I think you'll still get podunk games because you'll have a team like, say, Florida this year, They went hot last year, and they got into a bowl game, barely, but they got into one, and it wasn't the best bowl game, but now they're going to be now they're going to get that same team week 1, and this is a much better team. People are already saying their preseason like maybe 15 Florida is, you know what I mean? So wouldn't that still kind of be kind of a mismatch podunk game?
Okay, hold on. I got to take this call.
No, do you think? I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm old. I like the bowl games.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying preseason sucks, and it's not early enough. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I agree. I'm with you there. I think it'd be really cool to have a couple preseason games.
Yeah. So like, if we're doing spring games, obviously we're eligible to play and televise. So why not bring in another team and say, okay, well, hey, let's do 4 years between us. And you could go higher programs, you could go lower programs, do whatever the hell you want. But what I'm saying is that I'd rather see football earlier than later.
Yeah, and you kind of want your guys when the shit hits the fan and you're playing like your conference games, you want your guys clicking, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You want them clicking week 1, especially now that we're paying these people. So preseason games is a good way to do that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, imagine if the NFL just started week 1, no preseason games, no. I mean, there's already ugly games, but man, there'd be some really ugly games.
Yeah, that would happen a lot.
Right?
Yeah, so I just, like, let me go to a spring game and watch the ones versus the ones for the first play, and then after that, like, the fours versus the fours. So I'd rather have the ones versus the ones for the first, and then maybe the twos versus their ones, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Potential just kind of roll down.
And maybe when we think about TV, maybe there's a way where you can kind of time these out to where you get to just see the first quarter of the game, or maybe the first drive of said team, and then they move on to the next team.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, and it's like, okay, you guys are on. Do your first drive, do whatever.
Yep, rotate out.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
I know.
I already get annoyed when I'm at the game live and you see that referee step on the field. You know he's the TV timeout guy. And it's like, oh, God, here we go.
Yep.
Here we go again.
Let me sit here for 15 minutes.
Right. Oh,
put your damn orange arm down.
Right? Just stand there with his hand up.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Really, another commercial? All we did was kick the ball off. We just came back from a commercial. You kick it off, we're going back to another commercial.
It's just so fucking annoying.
Yeah.
No, I want to see something different, dynamic, and I don't see a lose-lose situation in doing anything like this.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand why.
Because you're still keeping those lower teams in mind.
Yep.
They're still getting a payout.
Yep.
They're also getting to play on TV in a big stadium.
Yep.
Like, when's the next time a team like LIU is going to get to play in front of a crowd? Like, I mean, I'm sure they'll schedule more games, but for those kids, that had to be pretty damn amazing to play in front of 90,000.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
under the lights.
But I think it's just absent-minded of like, oh, we just keep everything in house. It's like, do you? Because you learned nothing.
Yeah, and it's not like you're going to be running these exotic plays in the preseason.
No,
you're
it's
just working on timing.
Basic.
Yeah, timing, blocking schemes. You know, just getting a rhythm to your quarterback's cadence in the crowd, and
I think somebody's egos would get hit if they fucking lost.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's what it comes down to, is that people we don't want to do that because then we're going to be Western Michigan, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's just easier for them to play each other. It's like, no, it's not.
That Dallas-Philly game is just starting back up.
Yeah, I see it.
Just they had, what, a thunderstorm or something?
Yeah, I had lightning in the area.
and they're in Philly, so never mind. I was just saying, why don't they just close the damn dome?
No dome. Which means I gotta stay up later to watch it.
Upsets me. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying it means I gotta stay up later to watch it.
It kind of pisses me off when I'm watching a game and you know they have a dome, but they have it open and then it starts raining. And
yeah.
I get so upset. I'm like, why?
It happens often too.
Yeah, right? Good on Jalen Hurts. I didn't think he'd be as successful as he is in the NFL. Oh, a free blitzer. Oh my God, how'd you miss him? That was your chance, brother.
I don't need him getting sacked. I got him in fantasy football.
Ah, okay, that works for you then.
Yeah. Well, I'm going against Eric, and he's got CD Lamb, and fucking Dak is just mustering him in the first quarter.
That's why y'all were talking. I see. That's why y'all were talking like, I don't care about your food.
Yeah, I'm like, bro.
I thought he was just saying that in general, that he just wanted you to lose. Because I knew you guys were in the same league. But...
Yeah. He just wants to muster him.
Oh, my God, you guys. Again, I know you don't want the blitz, but it's just so... How do you overrun him like that? Just break down.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Especially at best level, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And you're a cornerback, so it's not like if you just break down and then you and him take off running at the same time, you're going to keep up with him. I know Hurts is athletic and all, but I mean, come on.
Yeah. Yeah, but it wasn't like a move, you know what I mean? It was just walked straight by you, like, okay, see you later.
Yeah. I watched a few NFL games this year. I haven't watched them in a few years. I think last year I watched like part of one. I just sit on my couch all weekend and watch football.
You want in the fantasy football league next year?
Maybe. I used to do the fantasy football league. It was fun, but then I just I don't know. I just lost interest in watching the game, so I stopped doing the fantasy football. I might jump in with Joe.
That's the only reason I do it is because of fantasy football.
That's how I felt too, and for a while. So it felt kind of like I felt like I was too much every day just checking on players. Is anybody hurt? Is that do I need to pick anybody up? Blah blah blah. I don't know. I think at first it made football fun, but then it made it feel like a chore.
Well, we only have so if you join, there would be 8 of us. So there's a bench available if anything gets hurt or whatever. Because if you're on with 12, it sucks everything out of the fucking league, in my opinion.
12 people.
Yeah. So
okay,
if you joined, it'd only be 8 of us. So there would still be plenty of people available, not on a roster.
Gotcha.
That if something happened, like if you're in a 12-person league, and with one, well, the other one, I mean, is it's quarterback.
Do you guys run 2 quarterbacks?
No, we run 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, a tight end, and a flex, which is wide receiver, running back, or tight end.
Gotcha.
Well, we run 2 wide receivers, 2 flexes.
Yeah.
On ours.
Is it 2 flexes?
So what? Yeah, it's 2 flexes.
Yeah, but we're a lower league.
Yeah.
Okay, we run.
We might go to 1 flex if we add another person potentially, but yeah. because, yeah. I mean, you could basically have a whole second starting roster as your backups.
Yeah, but
and that's sometimes the struggle.
Well, that's the point, is that you can actually get, even if your whole roster gets injured, we ran into it with, I ran into it with my league of, like, yeah, I injured a quarterback. There's no fucking quarterbacks left.
Yeah. But I was going to say, the hard part is because you have, it's like, sometimes it makes it a hard decision on who to start, is my point.
Well, a hard decision for somebody to start is a better problem than not being able to draft because both of your quarterbacks just got injured and there's nothing left in the league.
That's a terrible play. You know a play that is kind of like a dinosaur in college football? A screen to the running back. Just a simple screen.
Yeah.
Just don't see that very often.
Even when they bunch out there, it was like 4 receivers bunched, and they're like, oh, well, we shouldn't motion the running back out there and run the screen to him.
Yeah, right?
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like you got 3, 4 receivers pocketed out there. It's like, cool. And there's only 2 cornerbacks out there. So you think 4 versus 2 can't block? You know, they are receivers, though, so I should shut up.
Put a blocking tight end out there.
Yeah.
Instead of
All right.
receivers.
Do we want to get back into our final talking points? Because I know we kind of got sidetracked a little bit. So I'll jump into kind of my top 12, and then we'll hit yours, Humble. Right now I got Penn State. I have them as my number 1. I know obviously they didn't play anybody, but for the simple fact of what they returned from last year's team, I had them as my number 1 going into the year anyway. I have LSU as my number 2. I have Georgia 3. I have Miami 4. Ohio State 5. Oregon 6. I think I have South Carolina 7. Illinois 8. Florida State 9. I'm going to go Florida 10. Texas 11. And then I'm going to go Clemson 12.
Nice.
So I think, yeah, I mean, I think if we're just looking basic off of right now, like, I think those are the teams that showed they deserve to be in that realm. Obviously, it will change drastically probably from week to week, especially early on in this year. So,
absolutely.
So what do you have, sir?
To kind of counter what Parrott said, that he can't really judge these teams for like who they played because they're playing Podunk U. I kind of have to, and for me, because if we're going to ridicule these teams for struggling against the weaker teams, we got to give credit for them for doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So if your spread was 45 and you win by 56, you did what you did. You didn't turn the ball over. You blasted them. You are who we thought you were against that team, so to say, right?
Yep.
So, but I totally get what Parrott says, because you really don't learn anything from those guys except for they did what they were supposed to do.
Right.
Like think about who's the team that struggled this year? I can't remember who it was. We know North Dakota's a pretty good team, but Kansas State only beat them by 3. Right? And then, so it's like, you get what I'm saying. So we got to kind of reward the guys who do what they're supposed to do, and not just reward the ones who surprise us. I guess this is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So, and the more I think, I got FSU at 12. The more I think about the game, I think maybe we are also centralizing the game because we were more surprised that this 2-10 team is looking this good against this storied Bama program. Because the more I think on the game, it's like, yes, their defense looked great. But the offense, I thought, had a lot to be left to be desired. Right?
Yeah.
That quarterback made plays when he had to play, and he was, wow, oh my gosh, look what he's doing at Bama. But then when you sit back and look at it, it's like he was kind of pedestrian until those plays, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
I get where you're coming from.
It's like he's not doing much, but then boom, he does this great play, first down, and the drive keeps going. And it's
remember,
so the crowd's going crazy.
Right.
You know, go ahead.
And what I was going to say, and what do we remember? We don't remember the podunk or the non-play making shit. We remember the one play he made, typically. So I get where you're coming from.
And so, and I don't think Florida State's challenged really again till Miami. And so we'll probably fall in love with their box score here coming up soon. They'll probably have a bunch of blowouts. And then that Miami game will probably tell us a lot. About both teams, really.
Yeah, because Miami, I mean, obviously we said that Miami's defense looks good. So that could be a damn good matchup.
Yeah. At 11, I've got Iowa State. I think they're my only 2-0 team on this list. You know, they beat Kansas State that first week, and then they destroyed the team they played second week, which they were supposed to do. So let me go ahead and put a 2-0 team on this list.
I like it.
Yeah. 10, I have South Carolina. Not really sure what you're going to get from them yet. They won their game. It is what it is.
Yeah.
9, Clemson. 8, Notre Dame. 7, Texas. 6, Oregon. At 5, I have Georgia. Not sure what you're going to get yet this year, but they blew out the team they were supposed to blow out.
Yep.
4, Miami. 3, Penn State. And I'm not penalizing them because they won. Like, I necessarily didn't think they were the second best team, but I do think they are top 5. Like we don't know yet. They're returning a lot. We're going to learn more. So, like we said, this list is going to change every single week.
Oh, yeah.
2, I have Ohio State at 2. And 1, I have LSU. Because of all those teams, LSU, Ohio State, Miami, right, Notre Dame, Clemson, I thought LSU kind of looked more complete to me.
Offensive and defensive. Yeah.
Offensive combined, but not by much. They're not like my clear-cut number 1. It's just...
Yeah.
And who knows? Both LSU and Clemson could be garbage this year. You know, like not garbage, but they could be like 8-win teams, 7-win teams. Who knows?
Yeah.
This will change next week for sure.
One thing I wanted to ask you on South Carolina, because obviously both you and I had them in the top 12 right now. What did you think of Lenora Sellers? In week 1, he didn't. To me, he didn't live up to the hype. I was just gonna say, to me, he didn't live up to the hype. Like, he looked good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna say he looked bad, but he didn't live up to the hype.
Yeah, I think that a lot of that had to do. Virginia Tech was feisty.
Yeah.
Until that fourth quarter, this was just like a very feisty game.
And then all of a sudden, Lenoris made a few plays in the fourth quarter. Was like, okay, that's the Lenora Sellers. Like, that's I was gonna say. Like, when I watched the game, I've been like, that's what I was looking for the whole game, and I didn't see it the whole game. I just saw it late in the fourth quarter.
Because he's a big body. He's like 6'3", 240, right? Big body kid.
Good runner.
Yeah, and but he wasn't in this game. This game, 13 carries, only 25 yards, right?
Right, but most of those were all in the fourth quarter.
Yes. So I'm going to credit a little bit of that to Virginia Tech, but at the same time, I expected more from him. I agree.
Yeah. All right, on to next week's, or this, I guess, not next week's, this week's. Right. Games coming up. Why is it not allowing me? Whatever. I don't know why it's... Oh, because it's on fucking schedule, not scores. I want scores. Top 25. So, obviously, the game of the week, I think all of us would agree, is Michigan and Oklahoma. Are they the two? Like I don't know. Like I don't know if either one of these teams should be in the top 15 realistically or top 20. But slated as ranked on ranked, this is the top tier game of this week in Norman, Oklahoma. This will tell us a lot about Oklahoma, because Oklahoma was not a great team last year.
They had a weak schedule too.
But they had some decent wins last year, right? Like they beat Alabama down the stretch, but early on in the year they didn't look great. Michigan didn't look great early on in the year for most of the year because they had no fucking quarterback play most of last year. But then they beat Ohio State at the end of the year, and it's like, huh? How? And then they beat Alabama in the bowl game. So, you look at these two teams, and it's like, okay, so what are we going to expect in this game? Obviously, Michigan starting Underwood. Oklahoma starting, what's his name? John Mateer. I'm like, I know it starts with an M, but I was thinking Trey McCray, and I'm like, that's not right because she's a singer. But for whatever reason, that was the name that was popping in my head. But, like, I'm looking at this game, and I think Oklahoma's probably the more high-powered team, but Michigan's known for defense. So that could come into play. Oklahoma is known for having one of the best defensive lines, potentially, in the SEC, or at least speculation going into this year, potentially having one of the best defensive lines going into this year. Michigan is a run-first team. So this could be a back-and-forth game, and that's why I'm excited to see it, because it could be strength from Michigan against strength on Oklahoma's defense, right? Running game versus run defense, and potential strength in Oklahoma's offense passing versus, because Oklahoma damn near didn't run for shit in week 1, 40, 50 yards, something like that, versus passing defense of Michigan. And it's what Levy's going to break. Ultimately, I think this goes Oklahoma's way. I don't think Michigan is that good offensively to keep up. I think Oklahoma has a better offense and more high-powered offense, at least in the passing game, to make this more of a quote-unquote track meet that Michigan can't keep up with. That's the way I'm going. I got Michigan in this game.
I'll let you go. I'm going to use the restroom. I'll be listening in.
Yeah. These teams are
Did I have Michigan in this game or Oklahoma?
You said Oklahoma.
Okay.
Both these teams are fucking ass.
I wouldn't say they're ass, but
top 10 teams? No.
No, but they're not ass.
What was their first game? Oklahoma's against fucking Illinois State. And Michigan's University of New Mexico.
Yeah.
Oklahoma takes it by 12 points. It's weird, I know, to call a safety in the game. Like, Michigan can't, I don't know. hard to say that either team is great going into this. Michigan, which I don't think is good. I don't have much to offer on either one of these teams.
I mean, the only thing I would say is Michigan's offense was evenly powered in week 1.
Yeah, they were.
Right. Now, it's week 1 against, a lower level team. Realistically, that they probably should have beat more than they did. But it's also a true freshman quarterback that was starting for him.
And I'll still think Oklahoma in those. I don't think even beating at Michigan is an issue. And I don't see Michigan's secondary stopping Oklahoma's offense. Because Oklahoma has decided to be a pass-heavy offense already this year.
Yeah. I mean, if you can't run the ball against who they faced week 1, that's the one issue I see with Oklahoma. That could be to the detriment. Like, if you can't run the ball at all,
yeah,
you're going to have teams start teeing off, right? So, like, that's the one issue I see with Oklahoma. Like, if they're going pass-heavy offense like that, I could see a lot of teams, not even caring about run fits or anything like that and just going straight pass rush.
Yeah,
so we'll see.
I think Oklahoma will be the victor in this. Is it at Oklahoma or is it at Michigan? What's at Michigan?
It's at Oklahoma.
It's at Oklahoma?
Yeah, it's at Norman.
So why the fuck did they do it the right way on the banner and the wrong way on the whatever? I thought it was at Michigan.
Yeah, no.
Yep, never mind.
I did think that Oklahoma struggled to run the ball against Illinois State.
Yeah, they did.
They should have been able to run the ball a lot better. Excuse me. If Oklahoma does beat Michigan, it's going to be behind Mateer's arm, because I do not think they're going to be able to run the ball against Michigan very effectively. So Mateer's probably going to get 40-plus passes in this game. And the question is, can Michigan keep up? Because, Bryce Underwood, he did have a pretty decent game. 21 of 31 for a true freshman. That's pretty good. 251, one touchdown, right? But again, can you do that against Oklahoma? We'll see.
Yeah.
Because in that New Mexico-Michigan game, New Mexico, I don't know how they did it, but they had the ball for like 8 minutes more than Michigan. And really, Michigan, how do you only have 260 yards of total offense but have the ball for 8 more minutes? Like, that does, and it's not like Michigan was scoring that much in the second half.
How much yardage did they have?
400.
I showed a running back that had 150 yards rushing.
200? No, Illinois. I'm talking about New Mexico. New Mexico State had 217 yards passing and 50 yards rushing.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. How did they get?
I thought you were saying Michigan only had 200.
No.
Okay.
No, Michigan went 200 rushing alone, right?
Well, yeah. They had one running back that had 150 yards himself.
Yeah, if Michigan can run against Oklahoma and keep the kind of the pressure off of Underwood's shoulders, right? Not totally. I think Michigan can win this game.
Yeah.
But I do think Oklahoma's defense has improved because they got their coach is now calling the plays again. He's back to doing what got him the job in the first place, right? We talked about this like a few weeks ago.
Well, I think he started calling the plays latter part of last year, right?
Yeah, I do. Yes, I do think he took over.
I think he took over around the Alabama game, and that's why they beat Alabama.
Yeah. I don't think they win in a shootout, but if they can run the ball, and like you said, keep it even, keep their offense more even, I think Michigan has a chance. But I will say Oklahoma by 6.
All right, so we all going Oklahoma. All right. North Carolina, Charlotte.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you're good. I don't want to make light of like all these other like lower games, right? Because you can only play who's in front of you. But you mentioned the Oregon Oklahoma State could be an intriguing game.
Yeah.
We don't need to touch on it, but that's one we can maybe come back to next week if it turns out to be like we thought. Maybe who knows what this Oklahoma State team is going to be like this year.
Well, yeah, we're gonna hit our games, and then we can hit kind of each one of us give up an intriguing game that they see out of the matchups. So so we go North Carolina, Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Get out of here.
I knew he was going that way right off.
Dude, it's so fucking depressing and annoying and just stupid.
Yeah.
After that first game, the lack of transition, and I will say North Carolina will win this game, but it's so fucking. Do they win by 40 or do they win by a touchdown or maybe a field goal?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
Charlotte's not a slouch.
No,
it's not the greatest team in the world.
I think this is going to be your get-right game. I think you win by at least 4 touchdowns.
What? Okay. So the initial.
Max Johnson starting.
I was going to say Max Johnson is going to be the starting quarterback now. And obviously, I mean, he came in and played pretty well. Like he looked good once he came in for the injured, starter. So
I thought, holy shit! I thought our backup went to the fucking Charlotte. So the last name was Harrell. So sorry, I was like, what the fuck? He went to Charlotte. I was like, no fucking way. Okay, so that dynamic has moved.
Yeah. So, I mean, Max Johnson, Max Johnson is a guy that can scramble, but he is not a run first, and I think that's I think you went with the quarterback that you did initially with the plan of potential run scheme with him, but you never really, offensively, you never saw plays called that way. Realistically, to get him running, other than a few, but those were, I think, quarterback designed runs, and it was, if you looked at it as like a defensive coordinator, I'm like, that is pretty easy to cover. The way that they the way that they ran it, it wasn't any dynamic of trying to throw off the defense with the scheme or anything like that on those running plays. So I think Max Johnson will be a better fit for your guys. I think it'll get maybe the offense into more running downhill, and I don't know why you guys went away from it. You started off with it with Caleb Hood running right downhill, and it was working out on that first drive. I don't know why you kind of went away from that. Defensively, obviously, you guys have some things to work on, which is weird because that first fucking drive, both of us were like, damn, defense looked better than it has, had last year or the year prior. But then it seemed like all of a sudden they changed a little bit of their schematics and how they ran stuff, and now your defense doesn't look good anymore. And it's like, what the hell? But I think you guys win this game as well. I don't know if it's going to be by the spread or what. I think you're going to get some things ironed out and figured out in this game. So you might be tooling with some things. So it might not be fully by the spread, but I think you guys win this game.
I'm going to laugh if we don't win this game.
You kind of took most of my talking points right out of my mouth.
I did?
Yep. I think Johnson is a much better fit, and it's going to force Belichick to go back to what he's done his whole freaking career. You've got a Tom Brady-type quarterback back there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying he's Tom Brady. I'm just saying Tom Brady wasn't a threat to run. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, pocket.
So it forced you to run the ball traditionally, and you have the running backs to do it.
Yeah.
No way you should have only rushed for 50 yards.
No. Which happened in the first fucking quarter.
Yeah, no way. So I think Max Johnson's the better fit, and yes, your defense does scare me, but I have confidence that you guys are going to turn it around. I do. I have confidence that things are going to be different, but I just think running the ball is going to make you so much more dynamic on offense that you do cover the spread. I think you win by 4 touchdowns.
There's a spread on this game?
No. I'm just saying, if they say you're only supposed to win by Eastern, I don't know if you're going to cover the spread, so I was just saying you're winning by 4 touchdowns.
I'm not looking at spread or anything like that. I'm just on ESPN, so.
I have no clue if there even is one.
I'm just speculating if there's spread or not.
There isn't.
This might be one of those the day before type spreads, right?
Oh, yeah.
There was no spread to the day before.
Right.
And it went to like 46 or something like that.
Oh yeah, because that some of the lower levels, they don't release those prior,
right?
They don't want a lot of jumping on those games necessarily.
Right.
All right, Florida and South Florida. Humble, you want to lead this?
Sure.
Your team.
This game, I don't want to be too supremely overconfident in this game. This is just me looking at what I saw. South Florida shellacked Boise State that first game.
Yeah.
But it was kind of a weird shellacking because, again, they were outgained by Boise State in the game.
Yeah.
They were out time of possession by 13 minutes by Boise State in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Boise State had 25 first downs to their 15, but they still won 34-7.
Yep.
It's like, the 3 turnovers for Boise State really hurt them.
Yeah.
They had some nice drives, and then all of a sudden turnover, and then USF immediately would go and score. So I kind of take that back and I look. We should just
also,
be
I was going to
more
say slash fake punt for touchdown.
Yes. Yeah, I forgot about
one
that.
of their plays.
We should be way more talented. We should have more talent. We should have more size, more depth. We should really handle this game. But their quarterback is very, very intriguing, kind of scary because he is a mobile quarterback. And mobile quarterbacks have been, a lot of teams, downfalls in the past.
Yeah, 100%. Especially if you're a man coverage guy.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know if you guys watched, the Florida game last week. And I know we played LIU, but the speed that this defense has this year, and I've been saying it, if the defense gets good, this Florida team's going to be good. And there were times last year where it would be 3rd and long, and instead of having your traditional rush package, they put 4 defensive ends on the line and said, go get them. And it's like, you've got all this speed. This should be a easy win. And when I say easy, is that they should win I think it should be 41, 14, 17 maybe for them. But it's all on the defense.
Yeah.
Right? We're going to run. Florida's always going to run, even against tough teams. Florida can run the ball. And if DJ stays healthy and he's making the good throws, we've got playmakers all over the field. We actually didn't even play with 6 starters last week. And we were just so I know I sound like a Disneyland gator, like I'm so optimistic. But there's just something different about this team, and to me it all starts. People always say DJ. It's all the defense. It all starts with defense.
Which, I mean, rightfully so. I mean, I think most teams, I mean, that's what sets the tone. It's not normally the offense that sets the tone, right? It's the defense that sets the tone. I mean, the offense, can thrive off that, but it's the defense that sets the tone one way or another. I like you guys too in this. This game intrigues me more than it did, right? Going into this year, I wouldn't have necessarily thought much of this game per se, but seeing what South Florida did to Boise, it's like, okay, South Florida might have a team this year.
Yeah.
Now,
probably the favorite, group of 5 team right now?
Yeah,
probably.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, probably. Yeah, probably right now. Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Week 1.
I mean, I don't. Yeah, I mean, well, because Boise State probably was. Yeah. There. I mean, there's probably a couple that are right there with South Florida. I'd have to look. I'm not looking at that right now, but that could potentially be in that range, right?
Is all I'm saying,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but I mean, South Florida. I mean, just it kind of opened up people's eyes, I think, in that game. More than anything. Now, like you said, I mean, Boise basically beat them in every category other than the score.
Yep.
Right? I mean, if they don't turn over the ball 3 times and, let's say they score 3 touchdowns, well, that was a different game.
Yeah.
Right? So it's completely, I mean, but they made those plays when those plays need to be made, and you can't fault a team for that.
Doing that, absolutely.
Yeah. So this game makes that game with South Florida beating Boise State makes this game more interesting. But yeah, I think looking at you guys at Florida, coming from last year and how your defense finished last year as well, and rolling into this year. Your defense was on a high note, at the latter part of last year. Leading into this year, I saw good things, and I didn't watch the full game, but in the limited, first half that I watched of your guys' game, your defense, dominated. Your offense looked good. It's not like Lagway had to make too many plays with his feet per se, because he's not getting pressured or anything like that, but he made the right throws and he looked good doing so. I don't think South Florida has enough firepower, especially offensively, to keep up with y'all. So in that aspect, I think you guys have this game. I don't know if I'd probably put it maybe as high as you, but I'm guessing probably 17 to 21 points ish win by is where I'd probably feel comfortable. So, Barrett, thoughts?
Literally said the same fucking point spread I was. Well, I was like 21 to 24. So.
Okay.
I don't think they have an issue with them. I think the speed, the talent's too much. I think 24 at the very least, or 21 to 24 at the very least.
Yeah.
I think there'll be hype in the first quarter, maybe, but I just think talent and speed will dwindled that shit down pretty quick.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that usually happens, I guess, in this games. My experience is that they come out and kind of slap something in the face of, the hierarchy, and then talent's like, okay, motherfuckers, you came to play, so we're coming to play. So I think maybe in the first quarter, I think it'll be a little dicey, but I think the remaining 3 will be just fucking dominance.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I can see them coming out with a real nice script,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, on to Nebraska and
real quick.
Go ahead.
Real quick. I know you and I talked about this, but I just wanted to say this to you too again and the parents. South Florida should be ranked.
Mm-hmm.
They should be at least 25.
100%.
Blasted the crap out of Boise State. And then if they did that no. Let me finish. This is just like a really, not really that big of a deal. It would just make your schedule look even more stupid. Because have you ever seen a schedule with this many ranked teams on it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ranked. Now the Florida State we think is good.
Yeah.
We got 8 ranked teams to play.
Oh no.
Right? We got number 3, number 4, number 5, number 7.
You mentioned came out of there with like 6 wins. Woo!
Right? Jeez, it's crazy.
6 out of the 8 they win.
Just go ahead and make it 9 ranked teams.
There you go.
Go ahead. Just go ahead and crap on Florida's schedule even more.
Yeah.
It's like we already had a hard schedule last year. Now you give it to us again. It's like, come on.
No, I know. And I mean, obviously, it doesn't help that you guys added Miami and you play Florida State every year. So,
for sure.
But I mean, that's one thing. Because obviously you're already going to have potentially a very hard schedule being in the SEC, just like if you were in the Big Ten, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Potentially you have a hard schedule. I mean, it seems like in the Big Ten or even in the SEC, it's like a lot of times it's like kind of a rotation where it's like you have like 2-3 years of like very hard schedules, and then you have a couple years of I mean, still hard, but lesser hard. I mean, you're not playing all the top tier teams, every year. So, but yeah, it's funny that you say that. I mean,
and poor Billy Napier, you already come into a program and fan base that's hungry, right?
Yeah.
And you want to win, and then you get these schedules.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Oh man, if he could get the Gators to the playoffs, if we win 9 games, we make the playoffs this year. I hope all the fans just sit back and be like, dude, my bad, Billy.
Yeah.
My bad. Because I've been on him, for him since day one, except one day last year when, I think it was when Texas A&M beat us, so bad, where it didn't even look like our kid. And I was like, that's it. Billy's got to go.
I mean, ultimately, if I was to let's say, you guys go 9-3, and there's a Big Ten opponent. Let's say your guys are ranked 13, but there's a Big Ten opponent that was 11-1, ranked, let's say 11. I would pick you guys in the playoff over that number 11.
Yeah, that would be tough though, because it would depend, I guess, on that Big Ten schedule too. Because what if they played a bunch of ranked teams, right? Yeah.
I mean, but
I hear you. And it depends on those losses from Florida. Say they go to Miami and they win and they beat Texas, but then they go to Texas A&M and they win by a point or a field goal, you're saying, But if they get blown out by those 3 losses, and it's like, you don't belong.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, my bad.
That's why we wait. That's why we wait to figure that out at the end of the year, right?
Yeah. I just wanted to hit on this stupid schedule, man.
Yeah, no worries.
The SEC schedule does not like Florida.
Hey, bro, honestly, up until the last couple of years, I mean, we've been in the Big Ten for, 15 years now? Up until the last couple of years, it seemed like we were playing, one of the hardest schedules every fucking year in the Big Ten. We always had, Michigan, Ohio State, Iowa, Wisconsin. It's like, what the fuck? Can we ever get a break?
Right? Crazy.
And I mean, yeah, like it seems like we got a somewhat easier schedule, but it's not easy at all in the Big Ten, no matter what. Just like it's not easy in the SEC, even when you have the easier schedule. Like it's not.
I know what you're saying. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But going into Nebraska's game, we got Nebraska-Akron. This is basically we booked this game. What was it? Like 8 years ago. We rescheduled this game for this year because the first game of the year under the Scott Frost regime was lightninged out, so they never played. So we rebooked this game for this year. Realistically, I mean, Akron didn't do much in their first game against Wyoming. Ended up losing 10-0. We should win this game very handedly. If we don't, I'm going to be surprised. Our defense, and I'm not too down on our defense. Like I know some people are. We have a lot of young players playing that were sometimes getting out of position or just slightly out of position, but slightly out of position can lead to a blocker, getting you and opening up that hole more, which makes it harder for the linebackers to fill or safeties to fill and stuff like that. So there's a few things, obviously, that we need to fix offensively or defensively. Offensively, I'm not too scared of what our offense, I think our offense played a good game against Cincinnati. Obviously a lot of fans wanted, deeper passes, but when they had 3 down linemen and 3 linebackers and then everybody else was in coverage. They're basically in a balloon coverage, giving you underneath routes, and that's it. It's hard to hit them over top that way. Not every team can play that type of defense, but with the D-line that Cincinnati does have, they were able to play that way. They have probably one of the top. I mean, they've listed them as one of the top D linemen potentially in the country in their nose tackles. So I obviously don't think we're going to see that from Akron. I think we'll probably hit them for some deep balls, open up a little bit for Dylan Raiola. I mean, I know the spread, I think it's at 30 plus, I think, last time I looked. I don't know if we cover the spread because I don't know how long we're going to keep starters in potentially and stuff like that, because I think we want to get some looks for some backups in these games. But, I think, 21 to, 24, 28-point win is a solid win for us. And I think we probably hit in that realm. So.
You win by 30.
Okay.
I don't see a problem with this, especially at home.
Yeah.
I don't see an issue with this.
I'm playing on live chatting during it, so.
Yeah, 30 plus, I think, is an ease for you. I think you probably score 35 to 40, and I think they might have a score. I just don't see, they don't really have anything. Wyoming has a decent defense, so I understand their numbers up to date, but like I don't. I think your defense is better than Wyoming, and obviously your offense is way better than Wyoming. So, I don't see an issue with this game.
All right. Well, Humble?
I'm just Parrot, but I am way more confident, not that he wasn't confident, that if you guys don't put up 50, I'll be disappointed. I think you win by 40, and I'm not just saying that. I just do. Akron should pose zero challenge to you. As long as you can stop the run, not that they're a good running team, but you did let Cincinnati go for like 200, right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that was fourth quarter running by the quarterback. I mean, almost about 100 of it, but yeah.
But still, if you just stop the run, you guys will handle this team. They may get a score or two in the second half, maybe late against maybe like you're saying, like your backups or something.
Yeah.
But I totally expect you guys to win. Just put up at least 50 points. You should be so comfortably ahead at halftime, probably like 35 points at halftime. Where Raiola might not get back in there. So if that happens, I don't know how your backup situation is really. But this game should not even be a sweat for you guys.
Yeah. I think it's a huge third, fourth quarter rushing for them.
Yeah,
so that's
not even close. Yeah. I think you guys will probably go over 300 yards rushing. Like Parrot said, the second half you're probably going to do a lot of running. Unless you're letting your backup throw the rock. That's what Florida did. They put their backup in and treated him just like Lagway. He actually ended up with more yards than Lagway for Florida.
If they get him in the game, they will probably run a very similar offense. He is more running dynamic. He does have a running dynamic to him. Our backup, he's a true freshman, so I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of that. I wouldn't do too much of it because I don't want him getting hurt.
Yeah, I'll say 48-0. I think you guys shut him out.
Ooh.
Okay. I see a few field goals there in the second half, possibly, because your second strings are in and maybe they bonked out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I felt good about Cincinnati, so that's probably why I'm a little bit more reserved in this game. So just from what happened in Cincinnati, because I felt like we were going to beat Cincinnati by 14 plus. So maybe I'm just feeling a little bit reserved after that game. But so I don't like I said, I don't think it'll be like the game will be in question by any means, but just one of those things. So now on to the games that one of the games that I'm looking at that is very intriguing to me. And I know, this is obviously a Big Ten foe, Big 12 foe. Iowa State. This has been a game that had been dominated by Iowa for 6 years straight, and then over the last 3 years, it's been split. So Iowa State's won 2 out of the last 3, but 2 of their wins came at Iowa. So they haven't won a game at home against Iowa in over 9 years.
They normally play this game this early?
They normally play it. Well, not maybe this week. Normally it's obviously prior to Big Ten play.
Okay.
They always play.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I thought they played kind of towards the end.
They always play right before Big Ten play.
They played Nebraska towards the end of the year, so.
And then they always play Nebraska last year or last game of the year. So, I like Iowa in this game.
Really?
Or Iowa State? No, sorry.
I was about to say.
Iowa did not. I know they got a new quarterback, but the quarterback threw for 40 some odd yards. He's a transfer quarterback.
Play what? Alabama State?
I know they were super high on him.
They played
like
Albany.
coming in. Like they were super high on him coming in, which I'm like, really? I mean, hell, you were super high on Cade McNamara too. Like, who was a transfer from Michigan, and Cade McNamara did absolutely nothing for you guys. So I don't understand where they damn near never have good quarterback play at Iowa. Obviously they have a good run game. They always have a good defense. But I think that Iowa State quarterback, I think he's legit. I like him. I like that Iowa State quarterback, and I think he leads them to a victory, in their first victory at home. In this, I mean, so it'll be their first victory in 10 years, essentially. I like Iowa State in this. So, we don't all have to pick this game.
No, I didn't pick it. I picked Duke over Illinois.
Okay.
So Duke.
That was another one I was looking at.
Duke at home. I like Duke, for no reason. But I think this.
I know you don't like Duke.
I know. But Duke's been coming up, and I'm
saying I know you don't like Duke being a North Carolina fan, but I get what you're saying. You like them in the game.
But I think Duke wins this at home against Illinois, which is crazy because Illinois is up to ranked 11th. I think that the quarterback play. I don't care too much for either defenses. Should I say that? Yeah. But I think this is going to be a fucking shootout. I think this game will be a offensive scheme of just fucking like this. This could be 100+ over on it.
I was gonna say it's a two. I mean, both offenses scheme wise are different, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, okay.
I think this game will be just a fucking shootout. So I see the.
I mean, is it Duke's the early favorite, right? Aren't they a 3-point?
Mm-mm.
I think that I saw.
No, it's Illinois is 3.5-point favorite.
Oh, did I have it backwards? Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. I could have swore I thought Duke was. I could have looked at it backwards.
Yeah,
I've been known to do so.
Illinois is now Illinois is now a 2.5-point favorite. So it's gone down.
No,
and the spread is 49.5, which I'd put.
Yeah, I got Illinois as a 3-point favorite.
Yeah, Illinois is now 2.
But realistically, they have Illinois as a touchdown, almost a touchdown favorite at Duke, realistically. But
yeah, I see it just fucking trained him in over there.
I like it. Humble, who you got? There's a game to watch.
A lot too. In your game, I got Iowa State because right now, after week 1, I got them in my playoffs.
Yeah, right.
And I do like that Duke-Illinois matchup, Parrot. Duke's got a decent quarterback.
Yeah.
Right? And I can see that being a shootout. That's a good pick. My intriguing game is Baylor and SMU.
Okay.
Baylor Baylor played Auburn last week and pretty much went toe-to-toe with Auburn. Auburn did run the ball for 307 yards against Baylor, and that's pretty much all they did. But I kind of have a feeling that SMU's not going to do that. They're more of they want to put the ball in the air rather than throw the ball. They will or run the ball. And then I'm looking at the SMU game versus East Texas. East Texas had the ball almost twice as long as SMU. Went toe-to-toe with them in yards, right? And these are the East Texas Armadillos, right? I mean, I think Kathy Ireland played for this team back in the 90s. So, no, I'm just kidding. But I think that could be an intriguing game. SMU being ranked 16th and Baylor kind of, hanging right there with Auburn for most of the game.
Yeah.
I think Baylor can pull the upset in that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think Baylor's got a good team. I think just Auburn had Auburn had more talent.
Yeah.
Than Baylor did. Baylor played. I would say probably Baylor played the better game, but Auburn had more talent. And sometimes talent overshoots the gameplay, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, you look at the box score for that Auburn game. They were right there in first downs. They actually outgained Auburn. It's just they could not stop Auburn from running the ball.
Yep.
That's really the only difference in the game. So we'll see. We'll see what Baylor does against SMU. And is SMU a real contender again this year? We'll see.
Yeah. Does SMU have the same quarterback still?
Yeah, Jennings.
Yes, Jennings. Yes.
Okay. Because that is, I mean, he was a player that he was just exciting to watch.
Yeah, he went 22 of 30 for 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and he threw for 260 against East Texas A&M.
Okay.
And I'm sure he was pulled. So, you're right. I'm sure he was pulled in that game and didn't finish the game.
Yeah. But, hey.
We'll
good matchups to look out for. Obviously we'll be watching the games heavily. Any games yet tomorrow? I thought there were some, right?
Yeah.
Yes, there is one game tomorrow. I can't remember who it is though. James Madison versus Louisville, Western Illinois versus Northwestern, Northern Illinois versus Maryland.
Western Illinois. I was gonna say Western Illinois might beat Northwestern tomorrow. Fuck.
Yeah, they could.
What?
Maryland,
Northwestern looks terrible, bro. Did you not see Northwestern week 1? They look terrible.
They're 28-point favored. If that's the case,
I don't care.
Okay, I'm just saying.
I'm not saying it's really gonna happen. I'm just saying, as bad as Northwestern look, like they could fucking lose that game. I'm just saying. Northern Illinois, Maryland, and then of course Boise State rounds out with Eastern Washington.
Is Eastern Washington the team with the red field? It is. Yep, the Red Eagle. It is. It's them.
Damn, blue field against white field.
True.
Who do you like on that? The blue or the red field? Which one do you like?
Dang, blue versus red. The old Halo conundrum.
All right. No, we better stop talking about blue versus red. Because there's other shit that goes on that. But, yeah. Anyways, I don't think do we have any other topics that we want to bring up real quickly?
No, sir. Nothing I can think of.
Parrot, anything else you wanted to add?
Fuck Texas. Sorry. That just came out.
Oh, let's thoughts and prayers out to that FSU player that was attacked.
Oh yeah, 100%.
What happened to that?
Supposedly he was visiting home and he was shot, and his father says he was shot in the back of the head. And it says he's stable, so we'll see. Hopefully he pulls out of that.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I mean, his football career is over. But hopefully he pulls out strong and he gets a lot of support. He's going to get support from FSU. He's definitely, it's just a tragedy and it's sad. My thoughts and prayers to him and his family.
Yep,
yeah, you never want to hear about that. I mean, I remember. This is obviously way back in the '90s, but former player at Nebraska, Abdul Muhammad, who was from L.A. area, had gone back home for. I think it was Thanksgiving, so it was after the Colorado game, before bowl game prep started. Got shot in the ass. Played the bowl game with a bullet in his ass.
Oh, man, how many metal detectors did he set off?
Not a joke. Now he lives in Nebraska and actually is a coach at, I can't remember, one of the high school teams here. So, Abdul Muhammad, yeah, good guy. But yeah, I mean, crazy situation. But anyways, appreciate you guys. We'll